Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Ask Me Any Stock session. If you guys can see and hear me, you can see my screen as well. All right, just type a GM for good morning. Thanks for being early. I think some of you have already been waiting for a few minutes, right, for this session to start. Type a GM for good morning. Let me just, acknowledge all of you. Hi, good morning. Let's go. Lawrence, awesome. Hi, Wasong. Good morning. Bray, good morning. Howard, hi. Joseph. Gloria as well. Awesome. Good to see you guys. A lot of familiar names. A lot of you, I think, you are clients of mine in Philip Securities as well. Thank you so much for support. Hi, Batguan. Good to see you as well. Manford. Yep, definitely. You join us almost every Friday. Hi, Aiden. Helen. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to our Friday weekly Ask Me Any Stocks session. So what is this session about? Well, as the name of the show goes, right, it means ask me, and okay, not ask me, ask us, because now I have my team. Initially, I used to be doing alone, right? But now I have my team with me, all right? So it's pretty much to ask us any stocks that you want, and we'll give you a quick opinion on, all right? And we've been doing this since like 2025, last year, for more than a year now already, right? And every week we do alternate between the Singapore market and the US market. So last Friday was US, so today we'll be back to the Singapore market. So if basically, what does this mean? Basically, right now, if you're like scrolling through YouTube and Facebook, we're live on Facebook as well, all right? And you are looking at Singapore stocks. You have bought some Singapore stocks. I mean, any Singapore stocks are up to you, right? Whether you want to buy, or you have bought it, or you don't know what to do with it, or you don't know whether to sell, don't know whether to do nothing, not, well, then you're in the right place, because in this session, we'll be covering your Singapore stocks. All right. So if you have never met before, my name is Choy Choy, top tier remisier trader in Philip Securities. I've been doing this for more than 15 years now. And my forte is pretty much in stocks, right? So as I say, I do pretty much like Singapore stocks, US stocks, a bit of Hong Kong stocks as well. And I've been using what I call the one good trend strategy, right? One good trend strategy where, I've been, we have what we call a tool to help us, right? To know when to get in and also when to get out as well. All right. So what happens is that for this tool, we have a 1GT Pro indicator whereby on any asset classes, we are able to turn it on and get an opinion in seconds. So later when we go through your stocks, right, that's where we will kind of like, go through, this tool using, on your stocks, and we see how it shows, right, whether are there any bullish or even bearish signals appearing as well. All right. So let me go back to share my screen right now. All right. And, we do a quick market outlook, right? We do a quick market outlook. And of course, what happens is that we'll go on to the session whereby you can let us know what are the Singapore stocks you want, right? And then at the end, that's where me and my team will each share one Singapore stocks that we like, all right? After going through all your Singapore stocks, each of us will share one that we like that you can put in your watch list for potentially more upside, all right? Okay, so let's get started right now. Well, I have my team here with me. Just want to introduce my team. Well, today, Z will not be joining us, right? So we have Bervin and Tiai over here. So Bervin is one of the top brokers under me in Philip Securities, assisting our teams, group coaching sessions, one-on-one sessions from mentees, even assisting our team's portfolio manager running a 7-figure portfolio management business as well. And Bervin is a CFA chartered holder, right? Basically, in the banking and finance sector, right? This is one of the highest qualification one can ever get, all right? So maybe I can pass on the mic to Bervin, right, to see how you can add value for today. Bervin?
All right. Thanks, Joey, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to our weekly AMAS session. Like Joey have said, today we are covering the Singapore market. I think this morning, some movement in the Singapore market. I think everyone can't wait to get started, right? All right. So maybe before we get started, maybe can I just request you guys help to maybe, if you guys haven't subscribed to Joey's channel just yet, can you help us to just hit the subscribe button? I think it's right down below. It looks like a bell, something like that. Just hit the subscribe button. From there, I think maybe we can actually try to reach out to more people this year as well. All right. So a little bit about myself. I think this year my goal still remains the same for everyone to actually get more value from us. Right? Get more value from us. In what sense? In the sense where we get to know Joey's 1GT Pro indicator a little bit more. Get to understand the framework a little bit better. Help us to make a little bit better decision. Make us make consistent profit decisions. All right, that's the most important thing when we come to the 1GT framework, when we come to the 1GT Pro indicator, to understand how it works, and behind all that logic, how we can actually profit more from this market this year. All right, so without further ado, I think I'll pass the time back to Joey to introduce Jia as well. Joey, please.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, so that's Bavin, right? And we have Jia here with me as well, all right? One of our top brokers in Philip Securities under me, assisting our thousands of clients, right? Giving them valuable advice, quick opinion on their stocks as well. All right, and Jia is also one of the experts, I would say, in candlestick. He has a special interest in candlestick price action. So yeah, I do consult him a little bit on price action movement. And let me pass on the mic to Jia, maybe to just share a bit on himself. Jia, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Joey. So good morning, everyone. So happy Friday and welcome to AMS. So I'm Jia here. Really happy to see everyone here today as well. So I think some of you guys might already know me. I've been assisting Joey with operations, client servicing, and also trade execution since 2023. And also for the past 2 years, I've learned a lot and built meaningful connections, like supporting the team and also our clients in every way I can. So just a quick reminder on why we actually do this AMS every week. AMS isn't just a session that we attend. It's actually like a habit that we build. Showing up consistently, help us build discipline, continue learning, and also keep improving week after week. So I also think that Friday is actually a good time for a reset. We get to reflect on actually what went well this week, what we can do better, and also how we can start the next week better and stronger together. So even with a small improvement, when repeated consistently, it adds up to meaningful progress over time. So I think let us use today's session to stay focused, sharpen our mindset, and also keep ourselves aligned as a team and committee. And with that, I'll pass my time back to Joey.
All right, thank you so much, Jerry. Well said, right? Really to reset, to maybe just look at all the stocks that have done well, maybe not so well, and to prepare for the next week, right? To always to improve and stuff, right? Very good, right? Well said, Jerry. All right, so let's get started, right? So what we'll do, guys, same thing. We'll look at your stocks from the one good trend strategy, and that's what all my team members, including me, of course, are very proficient in. Right? We use the one good trend strategy. We have a tool to help us. And that's what we do, right? So along the way, right, that's where we don't have the time to share the entire strategy, right? So maybe a little bit here and there, bits and pieces. But if you want to maybe hear me show you the entire one good trend strategy, maybe how do we actually filter out the top winning 1% of stocks, right? How do you know exactly when to get in and get out? Well, you can attend a free webinar, all right? Link's right below the video. Let me just kick that off right now, all right? So link right below the video. Click on it. That's where you can attend a free webinar, and we look forward to share more with you in a webinar. But today we pump, right? It'll just be about your stocks, our stocks at the end. All right, we don't have time to break down the whole strategy. Okay, Ken? So just a quick disclaimer: whatever that's being shared is just for education purpose only. So please do your own due diligence. All right, not asking you to buy or sell anything. To share with you guys our process, our framework, the tools that we're using, and you decide on your own decisions. Cool. All right. Okay, so let's get started right now. Let me go ahead to maybe talk a bit on the market right now. And what would be the market? Okay, let me know, guys. Type a S for STI. If you want me to go through maybe the STI, the Straits Times Index, right? Type S for STI. Type S for STI. Let me know. All right, Abdul, right? So you're asking about the US market analyzed now. So just to be clear, guys, today will be the Singapore market, right? So if you look at US market, that will be next Friday because last Friday was US, so today will be Singapore market. So apologies, Abdul, we cannot do US today, all right? We'll be focusing on the Singapore market. So we'll not be like very messy, like Singapore, US, then also all blurred, right? So it will be Singapore market. Cool, all right? Okay, so very good. STI, SS, Glory as well. Thank you so much. Andy, Ronald, Lindo. All right. Okay. Very good. So let's take a look at the STI right now, the Singapore's Straits Times Index. And in fact, I think right now, as I'm talking, we are actually attempting to find a new high. Does it make sense? All right. We are at 4,880, which is pretty much an all-time high. All right. As we attempted to break the last week resistance level. All right, so I think the market has been pretty bullish, right? I mean, of course, we had some sell down over the past 2 days. US selling down. I think okay. Let me just do a quick rundown on about some of the news affecting the market, right? So there's of course what we call geopolitical tensions between US and the rest of the world, right? If you remember, a couple of days back, Wednesday, Thursday, Trump actually threatened, right, that he would like to maybe even use force to take over Greenland, all right? But he backtrack again the next day and they say, oh, he will not be using force, he don't have to use it, he wouldn't want to use it as well. And of course, he threatened as well to kind of impose tariffs on countries that do not support his takeover of Greenland, right? But a day later, same thing, he backtracked again. He mentioned that, he announced that a deal, kind of like a deal framework has been reached, and that's where he will redraw, all right, the tariff that he announced, right? So he planned to actually implement like, announce tariffs on like countries like, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, like 10%, even 25% from 1st of Feb or 1st of June, right? But he withdrew that again, and the market started to rebound. So a bit of same old story about Trump, and announcing it and then pulling back, going back again. All right, the market started to rebound. Right, this is for the US market. For Singapore market, well, I think it's been pretty strong. Never really followed the US that much. All right, overall, it's been really strong. You can see in terms of the trend for the STI. Well, it has been in a very strong longer term uptrend, I would say, since like 2024. Right, look at this. I mean, look at the 100 days moving average, the red line and the blue line. So red above the blue, both pointing up. Long-term trend is up, it is intact. All right. What about the short-term trend? Well, for the short-term trend, we look at what we call the 20 days green moving average line. Right, as long as it's pointing up, you see, right? So in December, actually for the STI in December, it was actually a bit boring. Why? Because if you have followed me on our AMAS session, right, I mentioned that we were actually capped below the 4,600 level, right over here, right? In November, December, up, then come back down, up, then come back down. You see what I'm saying so far? The 4,600. It's a very key resistance level. And the green line was actually up, then it was like flat. All right. So it's a short-term sideways consolidation, right? But over the past 1 month, right, I would say somewhere around like mid to end of December, we broke the 4,006, the green line turned up, and there we go, all the way to where we are right now at 4,879, all right, 4,879. So not too bad, right? In fact, what we're seeing right now is that, over the past 1 week, well, after pushing from 4,006, we actually headed all the way in like mid of January, right, to around the 4,850. Look at this, right? A little bit of a resistance, right? Went up, came back down, same thing, came back down. A couple of candlestick, bars coming out whereby sellers were just defending the 4,850 resistance level over the past 1 week or so, right? But today, I mean, like right now, I mean, you can clearly see that we have gone above the 4,850 that we have been like below for the past 1 week. Does it make sense, ma? All right, now it's 4,880, which is above 4,850, ma, correct? So we have kind of like broke above the 1 week consolidation, and that could again lead to more strength, more upside. First, maybe later you guys might be asking about the banks, right? UOB, DBS, OCBC. They are the ones kind of like pushing the index a bit higher as well, all right? And overall, what I'm trying to say is that we are starting off 2026 on a very good note, right? Longer term trend up, short term trend up. We're consolidating for a while. We're breaking the resistance and we are pushing higher again. Does it make sense, all right? And that is strength. That is strength, all right? Okay, now what we do is this, right? So you can see that that's what I've done, right? In terms of the one good trend strategy, I have kind of like done a very quick manual analysis, right? In terms of the trend, in terms of some of the key support and resistance, levels we have broken to push even higher. Right? But what I can do is that I haven't done yet is that actually if I don't talk so much on any asset classes, right? Any stocks, even the market. So this is the STI, it's a market, not a stock market, it's STI, right? So we can actually turn on the 1GT Pro indicator, which I have right over here, right? So I've already turned on the moving averages, pump, off, pump, nothing. You can see this is like it's like a blank chart lah. It's just like only the price only, right? Of course, you need a price. No price, then you cannot see anything, right? So that's the price, right? The candlestick, right? But if I can turn it on again, pump, all right? And now let me turn on another box whereby we get an opinion in seconds, not just from the trend indicators or the moving averages, but from the bullish and bearish signals. Right over here, the very first box, right? Pump, off it, gone. On it, pump, appeared. You see what I'm saying about? All right. So now let's take a look. And what it says for the STI, did we get any bearish signal or not? Or maybe got bullish signal come out, right? Well, you could see that it's not always green. Sometimes you see we got a bearish signal somewhere in October, right? November, right? We're sideways a while. All right, same thing over here. That was in April last year when Trump talked about tariffs, right? And then you can see we came all the way down. A new bullish signal came out. So what I want to share with you guys is that every time a new 1GT bullish signal appears, all right, and coupled with a few other confirmations that we look out for as well, we see a rally. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, and the most recent one was in 6th of November. All right, not last week, guys. It's like last month. Right, quite long. Yeah, 6th of November. Right, what happens? Pop, 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 to where we are right now, lah. Does it make sense? Right? So the market has been pretty bullish, I would say, right? Not last week or what. I mean, since like November when we got a bullish signal, it's still playing out. It's poised to hit even higher. I think targets could be maybe even. I think some of the analysts are predicting maybe towards the 5,000, right? 5,000 level for the entire market, right? And I think it's entirely possible. I mean, even today, right? After consolidating for like 1 week, we have attempted to break the 4850 resistance, right? In fact, now it's like 4881, right? 4880, right? Yeah, up and down. It's live, huh? All right. So not too bad. Near 5,000, maybe some profit taking come back again. I think it's good to see a bit of a consolidation. All right, every time we push higher, we consolidate a while, and then we move even higher. That will be what we call a healthy and sustainable uptrend. And that's what we're seeing for the market, right? You can see that we have been consolidating. We break the 4,006. We're pushing higher. We consolidated for like about a week. Now it seems like we're moving on to a higher phase. Cool. All right. So that is the STI. Not too bad, right? I would say very strong start of the year. 2026 could be even. There are a lot of opportunities right now in the market, right? You just need to know exactly where to look at. All right. Of course, we have these tools, this 1GT Pro indicator that help us, to alert us on stocks, right? To know when to get in, all right? Or maybe when to get out, right? If you see like a bearish rate signal, right? But so far, there isn't any bearish signal. So continue riding, right? Continue riding. All right, okay. So that is the STI. Okay, very good. So now, very simple. Let's move on to the segment whereby we are going to cover the Singapore stocks that you guys want a quick opinion on. So would it be okay, guys, before I talk about the Singapore stocks, would it be okay if you help me to like and share, right? Hit the like and share button, give us some love, some heart shape at the bottom right-hand corner. All right, that will be really, really helpful. Let us know, right? Those of you who have like hit the heart shape button. Thank you so much, right? Like and share. Of course, make sure if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, even on Facebook, if you're logging in there, all right, go ahead to hit the subscribe button, follow, so that when we go live in the future, you can be alerted as well. All right, like and share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, very good. Now, very simple. Let's move on to the proper Ask Me Any Singapore stock session, whereby I'm going to go through the Singapore stocks for you guys, right, one by one. So I'll go first, then I'll pass on the mic to Bervin, who will pass on the mic to Jiayi, all right, and we will go ahead to cover the Singapore stocks that you guys are asking about. So very simple. Now go ahead to type in the chat, right, the Singapore stocks that you want. But when you do that, right, guys, just take note, you want to give us a bit of a context, right? Give us a bit of context, right? Like you type like this one word, UOB, Stanley. Thank you so much for typing UOB. But what about UOB? Do you want to know about? I mean, do you buy it? Did you buy it last year, last month? You didn't sell it? You bought for, I don't know, what price did you buy it? But give us a bit of context. And that's where we will give you more priority. We will definitely try to pick those comments, those chat whereby you give us quite a bit of context. You put in the time and effort to type, and then we'll try to pick you up. But you just want, DBS or then maybe we might not want to choose your comment. Does it make sense, Far? So give us a bit of context. You looking to buy? Looking to sell? What price do you get in? You got in last month? I don't know, right? And that's where we will do our best to cover as many stocks, as many Singapore stocks as possible, right? So type the chat right now. Let me go ahead to just pick the very first stock for today. All right, let me just pick the first stock for today. Let me just go ahead to see. All right, so give me some time, maybe about 10-20 seconds. I'll just pick the first stock. Okay, let's see, right? Okay, Ray Lim, right? Maybe I can just maybe take the first stock today, and that would be Hong Kong Land. Ray, thank you so much for giving us a bit of context. That's why I decided to pick you, right? I bought Hong Kong Land at $6.60. Okay, let's take a look at Hong Kong Land right now. So Hong Kong Land, in fact, Hong Kong Land was one of the stocks that we did share for our clients in Philips Securities as well. Let me just go ahead to pull that out. I think I have it in my watch list, if I'm not wrong, right? Hong Kong Land, right over here, right? Okay, so this is Hong Kong Land. So you can see for Hong Kong Land, basically, I've already turned on the 1GT Pro indicator, right? There we go. This is like kind of like the chart without the signals, but let me just turn it on in seconds, turn it on, you get an opinion in 2 seconds. Pump on, there we go. All right. So I think it looks pretty good. Why? Because we got two, not one, but two 1 GT bullish signals right over here since November. So back to your question now, Ray. You bought Hong Kong land at $6.60. Very good. Thanks for giving me a bit of context. So 660. I think agak-agak you buy maybe around about here lah, maybe in December, if I'm not wrong, right over here, right over here. Very good, huh? Right, so I don't know, maybe you saw this bullish signal coming out, you got in 660, now is $8.21, so you make money lah. Congrats, right? Okay, your question, should I take partial profit or continue to hold? Right, very good. So at least we got some context. So you bought already. Now, maybe you should sell a bit because maybe you can reverse back down, right? Or maybe you can go up some more, you sell, then wasted, then go up, right? So what should you do, right? Very good. Now let's go to find that out right now. So you can see that for Hong Kong land, right? Whenever we get a bearish signal, so like right over here, right? You can see in September, in October, well, we did get a bearish signal coming out, right? The green 20 days moving average line, the short-term trend, also started to turn down. So we went down from like $7 all the way to about $6, right? So if you see a bearish signal, yeah, then I would say be a bit, more careful lah. Don't need to be so greedy. You can take some profit if you want lah, right? So that was in September. So you got in, we got a bullish signal, you got in, we got another bullish signal, thanks, all right, very good. And then it started to push up even more, all right? And right now we are $8.21. So I think right now, the longer term trend is up. Short term trend, we look at the green line, it is still up as well. So we got 2 ticks already. So as I say, today, guys, we don't have time to cover the whole strategy, but what happens is that for my one good trend strategy, every time we get a new bullish signal, that's where we actually go through a 7-step checklist, all right, to guide us on entry and exit. So out of these 7 steps, you don't need 7 out of 7, but if we get 4 out of 7, it's good enough, all right? And that's why we could think about getting in to really maximize our profits, all right, based on this one good trend strategy, right? So attend a free webinar, all right, to learn a bit more. Team, just place the link in the chat again, all right? I think it's probably hidden somewhere. So place the link in the chat. We have a webinar next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. All right, next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. All right, so just click on the link in chat, go to this page, register, and I can't wait to share with you guys a bit more on the entire 7-step checklist. All right, okay, so you can see, right, pump, bullish signals coming out. We have pushed higher. Right now, I would say that we are seeing a little bit of support right over here around the $8 psychological support level. So right over here, right? $8. So you got in at about $6.60. Now it's $8.20. So you're definitely making some money, right? So anything above $8, I think it looks pretty good. That is a horizontal psychological support level. Now, one thing that we want to do is that, based on this 1 GT Pro indicator, right? Apart from the bullish and even bearish signals, well, we can turn on another very powerful feature, right? And that will be what we call the trailing support and resistance pump. There we go, we turn it on. So you can see that this trailing support, right, has popped up since November when we got the first bullish signal coming out. And it popped out, it was right over here at $5.95, right? So what is this trailing support? Well, you can see that the trailing support is below the price, all right? It follows the price as it moves up, right? But you don't follow too closely. You give it the space to breathe. You give it some breathing allowance to hopefully let it move higher lah. All right. So you can see you move up, you follow up, flat, follow. Right. So from $5.95, now you follow until you become about $7.70. Right. Are you still above it? Yeah, you're still above it. Right. Is there space between the price and the trailing support? Yes, there's space because we have given it the space to breathe. Right. Any natural pullbacks, if you're still above it, you're fine. So you can see, right? Horizontal support around $8, right? Trailing support around the $7.70, right over here, right? A bit of space, right? Of course, preferably, we can dip a little bit to near trailing support. Could be a good entry to get back in again, right? But the thing right now is that not even $7.70, I think $8, as I say, buyers are starting to come back already, right? So anything above $7.70 or maybe even above $8 right now, I think it looks good. Short-term trend is up. Longer term trend is up. There could still be more legs to the rally, right? If we can break the 850, we can break the 850. I think 850 maybe a bit of a resistance here, right? I think that's where some selling came back. If we can break 850, I think targets could be revised maybe all the way to 950 as well, right? So back to your question, should I take partial profit or continue to hold? Well, I think nothing wrong, right? I mean, that's what we always say, right? Nothing wrong to take some profit. all right, near a resistance level. So for example, the past like 1 over week, you can see that we hit it to about 841, 40, I think the high was about 840, 43, right? As I say, 850 is a resistance, correct? So near 850. All right, it could be 841, 845, 842, 848, 847, 84 something, right? Near 850 lah. That's where some selling can come back, right? So if you want to take some profit near 850 I think nothing wrong because that's where we are seeing selling but we try not to take all. Like why? Because if you take all, then after you break 850, then you go up some more, then you're like, yeah, wasted, right? So we only take all if there are signs of real weakness. You see a bearish signal, right? The green line also turned down, okay, fine. Right? But so far it's still looking good. So you want to take some, it's okay lah. But I think don't take all because there could still potentially be more upside, especially if the 850 resistance were to give way. So you can set some targets, 851, 852, 53, all right? And that is where you could ride the upside even more. All right, so this is the very first stop for today, Hong Kong land, all right, on my one good trend pro indicator, whereby we had a couple of bullish signals coming out. So far, so good. No bearish signal. I think you can continue to ride even more. All right, Ken. So I hope that helps. Ray, let me pass on the mic to Levin to cover the next Singapore stock. Levin?
All right, thanks, Joey. Okay, let's go. All right, so I think, hi, Damien. Hi, good morning. So may I have an opinion on ShengSiong? Thinking of getting in at 270. Thanks. All right, so thank you, Damien. I mean, I see your name very, very often. Thanks for joining us again this morning. Okay, also on my screen right here, we have ShengSiong, one of the stocks that actually, I think towards the start of last year, started to finally wake up. So if you actually see since before pre-2005, 2025, there wasn't actually much movement. But I think right here, I think on April of 2025, I think that's when the stock actually really wake up, really start to see those bullish price actions actually come in. Couple of 1GT bullish signals appearing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we are on our 6th 1GT bullish signal that actually had just appeared on the 13th of January. So very, very recent. Right? So the longer term moving average definitely still pointing up. The 20 days moving average, Damien, of course, it is still pointing up. All right, so I think these are all initial good signs that the longer term uptrend is still aligned with that shorter term momentum, what we like to see as well. But for Sheng Siong, I think there has been periods of consolidation, right? Let me just draw a couple of lines right here. You can see these were previously resistance turn support levels, resistance turn support levels where prices have previously consolidated under for a couple of months. I think the most recent one before this prior consolidation was from July all the way to October, before we got another 1GT bullish signal that have actually shown up and prices broke a new high. I think right now that immediate resistance could be around that $2.75 level. Right, yes, tested and consolidated for about 2 weeks right there, and for the last 2 weeks it had consolidated at this area as well. And very similarly, we also saw that there is a new 1GT bullish signal that have actually shown up, but prices haven't break above that 275 level. So definitely, I think right now, I think they may be want to get in at 270. Could it be very close to that resistance, that 275 resistance? Why not? Let's like what Joey said, set up some targets. Right? Set up some targets. If prices really indeed break and hold above, why we say break and hold above? Can you see that the last few days, right? Last few days, prices have indeed broken above, but had it held above this 275 level, not just yet. Prices still close below this 275 level. Right? So sellers are still rather keen to come in very close to this level, this resistance level. So I think in the immediate term, this is where profit taking could come in. Some buyers from previously would like to take some profits at this level. So I think accumulating at this level could be on the more risky side. All right, could be on a more risky side. Of course, if prices hit higher, break above 275, that's when you start to see a profit, right? But what happens if prices pull back? All right, if the sellers actually really take control, I think that immediate support right now will be around that $2.50 level. We came close to it in the middle of December last year. Right, so here we go. I think this is what we like to call like a buy zone. Maybe from 250 to 255, around that area, I think that is where we could potentially see those bargain hunters, bargain hunting actually coming in, buyers coming in to defend this immediate support level. Okay, so I think for now, close to 275, I think that would be a little bit of a risky move. Or one alternative thing that you can actually set up would be for a breakout trade, right? For a breakout trade above that 275 level could be a level you want to watch out for. Set up some alerts, 276, 277, 278. I think 3 alerts, plenty to just get yourself alerted. Very simply right click, add an alert. Of course, remember to change it to 276 lah. Okay, and then for notifications wise, for myself, I prefer to be notified via my mobile application. But I think Joey prefers the toast notification if you are constantly on the computer. So just select the one that you want and then just press OK. Do it a couple of times. Damien. So once you really receive those alerts coming in, I think that's when you have to come in. Take a look at the chart. Do we see buying pressure or that renewed strength come in? And then that's where we could be in a new consolidation phase or a new leg in that uptrend. All right, so just doing a little bit of projection here right now. From that 250, 275, about 25 cents range, projecting upwards, that is right towards that $3 psychological level where selling pressure could once again come in, and that is where potentially we could have entered a new consolidation phase, right? Like previously we have consolidated right now from November to January, right? Just going back a little bit more, we have consolidated from July all the way to October before breaking out. So roughly about 2 to 3 months consolidation phase. I think very normal, very expected of a healthy uptrend as long as that 275 holds as a new support level. Yep, I think that is where you can potentially position yourself for an entry to accumulate. All right, so I think so far so good for Sheng Siong. Still looking like the next leg could potentially happen. Just waiting for that one more additional signal to come in, that confirmation to come in, that 275 giveaway. Otherwise, we could head back to that 250 level for some potential bargain hunting as well. All right, Damien, hopefully that helps give you a little bit more insight as well. Right now, I'll pass the time to Jai to actually cover the next requested stock for you guys.
All right, thank you, Bhavin. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, the next stock that I'll be covering will be on Fraser Property. I think Gina was asking, hi team, bought Fraser Property TQ5 at 1.11. Should I continue to hold or sell? So, I mean, just based on the quick look wise, I think if you are talking about 1.11, it should be quite recently that you bought, maybe around end December to early Jan. No, just looking at the big picture for this counter wise, this counter actually previously, back in 2020, 2023, actually has been downtrending, and it came down to below that 90 cents level and has been trading below that since 2023 to actually up to last year, July 2025. So actually, July 2025 actually broke above this 90 cents key resistance level, and actually, back then after April, after the tariff, we can actually see that this counter broke above the 90 cents and continue to show strength. So just basically looking at the chart wise, looking at the 200 days, 100 days, and 20 days moving average, actually based on this, currently you can see that all of these three are actually pointing up, actually showing strength, long term wise and short term wise. Let's just look back, back in July, actually it broke above the 90 cents key level resistance, and actually within just maybe 2-3 months actually went close to that $1 psychological resistance level, and in August it managed to break above this $1 psychological resistance level, turning into a new support level. And afterwards we actually see that the price has been consolidating around this $1 to $1.10 price level. That's why you see that 20 days moving average was actually trading, moving sideways. So back in last year or September to actually early December, it's been trading around this range, and finally in 5th December, actually 5th to 6th, 5th to 8th December, actually broke above this $1.10 key resistance level, and there's a 1GT bullish signal actually appeared. So actually now, if you look at it, It's currently trading around that $1 to $1.20 level. So Gina, if you're asking, you bought at 1.11, should you continue to hold or sell? If you bought at 1.11, actually is quite close to the support, which is actually a good entry level. Based on the chart wise, it actually is showing uptrending as well. So it's actually quite strong. But if you can see, now, just looking at the chart wise, we can actually see that, at around this price level, this 1.20, actually sellers came back to push the price back down. So actually now it's trading slightly below a resistance level. If you are thinking of holding or selling, nothing wrong to take some profit near a resistance level, which actually sellers came in to push the price back down. So like what Joey mentioned, it's okay to actually take some partial profit, as long as you can take some partial profit around the resistance level, just in case prices actually manage to break above this 1.20 and it might turn into a new support level. You might see more upside. But if prices not able to break above this 1.20, you might see that prices continue to maybe trade sideways, maybe come back down to the support of 1.10. So it's good to actually take some partial profit just in case prices actually break above. At least you still got some shares to hold, and after that ride a wave. So just doing a simple projection wise, if we were to project previously based on 1.10 to 1.20, if we were just to project upwards around the 10-cent range, the next resistance could be around that 1.30. So if you were to, if the prices are able to break above this 1.20, you can see that the next upside might be close to that 1.30. So if you want to take some partial profit, nothing wrong with that. Or if you believe that, or you think that the prices can actually break above that 1.20 and hold above it, you might see a new support near that 1.20, and the upside target will be actually up to that 1.30 next. So for you, if you are planning to hold, to ride that wave, and also to collect dividends, I believe the dividend wise is also actually end of the month. So just take note that when there's dividend, price actually will adjust as well according to the dividend. So if you're holding for long term, or if you think that prices actually can continue to go up, break above that 1.20, go to that 1.30, you can consider to hold. But do note that if prices are not able to hold above this, break above this 1.20, you might see that prices come back down to that 1.10. By then you might want to have also a stop loss plans if it breaks below that 1.10, going back to that $1 key resistance, key support level. So hope that answers your question, Jeannie. Yep. If not, I'll pass my time back to Joey to cover the next topic.
All right, thank you so much, Jai. Very good. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, and let me share my screen. All right, and that would be okay. Let me pull out who is asking about this stock. I think we have quite a few asking about the banks, right? The bank. So let me cover the first bank for today, and that would be this bank, which is where is it? I'm trying to find comment. Okay, right over here, right? Moonkit, right? Bought OCBC at $19. Should I be taking profit now or add more as stock seems to be moving up recently, right? So thanks for giving us a bit of context. I bought previously 19, very good. Now is at 21, so good, making money, Eddie. Should you add more? Should you sell? Or should you maybe don't do anything and let it go up some more and make hopefully more profits, right? Very good question. We'll come to that in a bit. We have a yen as well, right? OCBC just hits a new all-time high, ATH, of 21.15 this morning. Yep, exactly. I think 21.16, right, was the high this morning. All right. Any thoughts on further upsides per the 1GT or the potential entry exits, accumulate for more dividends or take profit? So very good. I think basically these two questions would be more like, you bought it, right? I think you got in slightly $7, right? Even cheaper, much cheaper, all right? For Moonkit, I think you got in about $19, right? A little bit, I think for the past like 1 month you got in, right? So well, good as well, because it's gone up even more, right? So basically, what should we be doing for OCBC right now, right? Is it time to take some profit? Could it hit even higher? Let's go to find out. You can see that right now for OCBC, well, we got actually two 1GT bullish signal coming out. All right, over here. And the first one came out in 3rd of October. Right? In case you're wondering when it's October, it's like about 3-4 months ago, right? About 3 months ago, in fact, right? Right over here, October. Now it's like January already, right? The second bullish signal came out right over here. as we actually attempted to break the $17. So you've been following me. I mean, I did a couple of videos on the Singapore banks on YouTube as well, even in our AMAS session as well. I think the banks I get asked quite often, and that's where I covered it. So previously, when it broke the $17, well, I think I also sent out a note to my clients in Philip Securities, drawing some targets because we got this bullish signal as well. And you can see that from then to now, it's a 23%, right? 23% upside, all right? Are there any bearish rate signals out yet, right? No, right? I mean, I can't see any bearish signal. What do I mean by bearish signal? Bearish signal means like this red color, signal right over here, right? If you do see a bearish signal, well, then I would say that you want to be a bit more careful, as I mentioned, right? Now, we could have broken what we call a key trailing support level. So let me just go to pull out this trailing support, one of the very powerful features of the One Good Trend Pro indicator. So right over here, you can see that when the bullish signal actually appeared in October, a trailing support popped out, right? And you can see since then, it has been following OCBC as it moves up. Flat, follow. In fact, over the past few days, we have gone up, and now the trailing support has started to follow it up as well, right? So trailing support will be right over here around $20.25 or maybe $20.30, right? So as long as we stay above $20.30, right? In fact, right now, I would say that $20.50, right, would be what we call a new horizontal support level, right? Because it was a bit of a resistance last week. We were trading below it. Yesterday, pump. We went above 2050. Today, went up even more, even higher, right? But 2050 will be a resistance turn horizontal support level. 2030 will be where space is given for the stocks to breathe. So it's slightly lower. Why? Because we give it space, right? And all this, why you see that there is space between the trailing support and the price. So right now, there's still space, right? Why? Because this trailing support, it follows a stock as it moves out. It accounts for the natural volatility of a stock. The more volatile it is, we give it more space. You don't really move much, you're not so volatile, then you don't need so much space, then we also don't give you so much space. Make sense? Right? But in any case, if you're above the trailing support line, well, good. You're safe, chill, all right? Let it go up some more. We follow you some more. If you're above, we ride more. So right now, I would say that back to your question, right? Should you take some profit maybe near a resistance, or maybe should you accumulate more? Well, I would say that if you're, as I say, nothing wrong to take some profit, right? It depends on you, right? Because basically, like for a year, you've got in at $7, right? If it hits to like 22, 23, maybe we start to consolidate, we see a resistance, you want to take some profit there, I think that's fine, right? But usually for us, it's very simple. We try not to take profits too fast, right? Unless there are signs of weakness, unless there is like a bearish signal coming out, all right? We see a red bearish signal, all right? The green line obviously is still pointing up right now. It starts to, start to come down. And of course, a bearish signal comes out. Then you want to be careful. You want to get out, right? And lock in your profits and maybe wait to get back in again when the time comes. You see what I'm saying? So what? Right? But right now, I'm not seeing any of that, right? So I think it looks pretty good. In fact, I'm even thinking about, loading up more, right? Taking more long positions to ride it even further. So most people like to, average down. That means when you go down, you buy. Cheap, right? Go down, buy some more. Go down, you buy some more, right? But for the One Good Trend strategy, in terms of the core belief, right? We believe into buying into strength, right? We don't average down. We average up, right? So don't even, sometimes, people may think of taking profit, but here we are actually thinking about loading up and riding more, right? Because it's strong. So we could be taking more positions to ride the uptrend even more. Of course, doesn't mean just take and anyhow just leave it there, right? You protect your profits as the positions move even higher. You see what I'm saying, Subhan? All right. So that's one thing about the mindset on the One Good Trend strategy, right? You ride more, you maximize your profits, all right? If you want to take some profit, it's fine, but I think it still looks good. So don't have to be too kanchiong to lock in profits, right? I think until we see something bearish, but so far everything looks good. So continue to ride it, maybe even take more positions, accumulate more to ride it, all right? And to maximize our profits along with the trend. All right. So this would be OCBC. All right, Ken. So, yep, I think this is pretty much OCBC. So as I say, guys, right, OCBC, right, we actually sent out a note to our clients in Philip Securities. Let me know, guys, type a C for clients. if you are a client of mine in Phillip Securities, that means you have a trading account under me in Phillip Securities. Let me know. I just want to thank all of you for just being here, for those of you who are my clients. But I mean, some of you maybe you're just scrolling through YouTube and Facebook. You have no idea who I am. So, all right, but let me know. Type a C for client, guys. If you're a client of mine in Phillip Securities, just want to acknowledge all of you. Thank you for your support as well. All right, let's see who of you are clients. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Victor. Yeah, definitely, right? John, Jared, Clyde. So you have a trading account under me in Phillip Securities. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Colleen, Jasmine, Catherine. All right, very good. Catherine as well, Tina. All right, so very simple, guys. What happens is that if you are a client of mine in Phillip Securities, like many of our clients over here, like Stephen, like Rico, Howard, Manford, or my clients would be getting our daily updates and ideas by WhatsApp on a daily basis, right? For free. Yeah, for free at no additional cost. You do not pay anything more, right? I mean, it's free to open a trading account, right? So basically, I'm not too sure where you're trading, right? But if you're not yet a client, all right, you're trading in a one of the broking firms in Singapore, all right, but you don't get any service lah. I mean, nobody contact you, nobody WhatsApp you any idea or video or training. Yeah, you need to call a hotline to wait 5 minutes, that kind of thing, right? Click on the link in the chat, find how you can become a client of mine for free, at no additional cost. That's where you can get some ideas daily, right? Like OCBC and some other stocks. In fact, Hong Kong land, which I covered just now, we also send out a few WhatsApp ideas to our clients as well, so you can write those upside much faster. All right, okay, Ken. Very good. I just joined as your client. Very congrats. All right. I think you should be receiving our daily updates and ideas. How to get this one OGT charting? I would say you're asking about the One Good Trend Pro indicator. Very good question as well, Moonkit. Well, attend a free webinar. Team, just place the link in the chat. I have a webinar next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. So right over here, click on the link in the chat, and that's where you come to this page over here. So next Tuesday will be kind of like the last webinar for this next 2-3 months. We don't do this every other month. It's not really my full-time job. I'm just doing my best to share what I'm doing anyway. All right. So next Tuesday, 27th of Jan 2026, 7:30 p.m. It's our very last webinar for the next 2-3 months. All right. So go to register your spot, enter your name, email, contact number, and that's where I look forward to share with you guys a little bit more about the 3 secrets. Right. The first secret would be, why is trend trading one of the most powerful, profitable strategy in 2026? All right. How do we actually sieve out the top 1% of winning stocks in 5 seconds? Next, how do we know exactly when to buy and sell these stocks in another 10 seconds? Does it make sense, Bob? All right, so that's what I'll be sharing with you guys. Click on the link in the chat, right? And that's where I look forward to share a bit more about the entire One Good Trend strategy, all right? As I say, if you're not yet a client as well, you want to get some of the ideas daily by WhatsApp for free, no additional cost whatsoever. Link is also in the chat. Let me pass on the mic to Bervin to cover the next Singapore stock. Bervin, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Joey. All right, so guys, remember click on the link to actually register yourself for the webinar. I think there is limited slots, and this is the last one, like Joey have said. So I think best not to miss out, since we are still at the start of the year. Good time to identify some opportunities as well. All right, okay, here we go. So I think quite a few of you guys are actually asking about this stock, YangZiJiang Shipbuilding. All right, YangZiJiang Shipbuilding. I think Ricky was asking about it. SC was also asking about it, and I saw one more person that was asking about it. Nikki, right here, seems to be declining from last week with no news. Is this a good time to enter? All right, so I think if you just want to know a little bit why it's declining, I think there is the economic the political tensions are causing some tensions along the supply chain side as well. But YangZiJiang Shipbuilding is actually mostly dealing with the shipbuilding side of things. So I think parts could be hard to come by right now. I think backlogs could be a bit hard to deliver as well. So a little bit of pullback, but could this be an opportunity, right, to get in? Right, so there are some that already have bought, right? Ricky that thinking have bought, should I continue to hold? And then there are some that are looking to also get in. So both sides of the coin, right? There's both sides of the coin. So right now, what do we see? Firstly, I think when we see this red color signal, this 1GT bearish signal, I think buying should not be on the top of the list first. All right, buying should not be on the top of the list first. You want to take a step back, right? Look for those confirmations whether there could be a reversal in that trend. Where are the key support levels to actually look out for? All right, so right now, I would say that the longer term uptrend longer term uptrend for YangZiJiang Shipbuilding since that bullish crossover in September. It has still been holding up. It has still been holding up. Not too bad. I mean, a little bit more stable in the more recent days. And we actually found a higher support. Higher support since September of last year. The higher support right around that $3.25 level, 320 to 325 level. So that would be the first buy zone that we are actually looking out for. We want to see if this level is being defended. Doesn't mean the price comes down immediately to that 325, 320 level, you immediately go and buy. No. When prices approach that level, there are signs that you want to actually look out for. What signs you want to look out for? It could be candlestick patterns, but I think the easier one to spot would be that 20 days moving average. Where does the 20 days moving average look like it's heading? Is it flattening out? Is it heading down? Or is it heading up? I think these are the signs for that 20 days moving average that could point you in the correct direction or give you an indication of where the buyers are looking to head towards. Right? Is it going to be heading down or is that 320 constantly being tested? You see prices breaking below that 320, then definitely there's a no go, right? There's a definitely no buy. However, if you see prices or buyers coming in to defend 320, 325, push a little bit higher, great. Then that means this 320 to 325 level is still being respected by those buyers in the market. And that's when you can potentially position yourself for an entry with that additional confirmation. So like what Joey have said, there is a 1G, when you see a 1GT bullish signal, you definitely see a trailing support. But when you see a 1GT bearish signal, the red color one, there will be a trailing resistance. All right, there's a trailing resistance. So of course, like if prices are above a trailing support, right, there will be a horizontal support. Majority of the time, you will be able to find a horizontal support above that trailing support to give you where that trailing support gives you space or gives the stock space to breathe. All right, so likewise for trailing resistance, you can see that it is above the horizontal resistance majority of the time. Because why? Breaking above a horizontal resistance gives that additional confirmation and gives that 1GT bullish signal that comes in, that additional strength as well, gives it that additional importance as well. So I think right now we are still trading under a trailing resistance. All right, trailing resistance is right around the $3.63 level. All right, so if you are looking to be a little bit more aggressive, getting in or you want to position yourself when there is renewed strength, that means prices rebound off that 320 level and hit above the horizontal 355 resistance and you want to position yourself, I would say set up some alerts. Maybe 361, 362 towards that 363 level. I think that is currently where you could potentially position yourself for an entry as well. A little bit more aggressive trade. So when it is a more aggressive trade, a breakout trade, you want to have a plan. All right, you want to have a plan where if prices are not able to hold above that 365 or 355 level, I think that is where you want to have a plan to get out as well. Don't let those losses extend. All right, so Nikki, I think that could be a plan for you. But however, I think just now somebody was asking, I think Ricky, right? Ricky was asking, you bought it at 360. All right, so I think 360 you have bought it previously early January, or yeah, should be early January as well. 360 should you continue to hold. All right, so now Ricky, you are sitting on some losses from 360 all the way down to today's or current price is 335. You are sitting on a little bit of a losses, about 25 cents per share. All right, what's the plan now? We have a 1GT bearish signal that is present. Right, as prices broke below that 355 previously horizontal support, now turned into resistance, and prices have also broken below that trailing support already. Typically in cases like this, you want to have a stop loss plan where you get out first. All right, you get out first and you try to reposition yourself as long as those confirmations still hold up. Right, but you haven't got out. So I think the next plan you could consider to have would be if prices break below that 320 level. below 320. Set up some alerts, Ricky, below 320, maybe 317, 318. That could be a level where we actually see another 1GT bearish signal actually come in. You don't want to be holding as prices go down, one bullish signal, one bearish signal, two bearish signal, three bearish signal, and definitely not as good already lah. Because those key supports, if they don't remain or they don't hold, prices could fall very quickly towards that next key support, which would be around that maybe $2.90 to $3 psychological level. I think that is where that next key support will be, and then your losses will be extended. All right, I mean, it's a very, very good thing. I mean, that you never say that you want to buy more, even more, average down, a 320, go and buy some more, $3, buy some more. Good. But now we have to take care of your downside. So you have some capital preservation as well. Right, so have some alerts being set up, but the longer term trend is still looking good, still worth to monitor, but just be a little bit careful in the nearer term. All right, Ricky? Okay, so now I'll pass the time to Jai to cover the next requested stock for you guys.
All right, thank you, Bhavin. So the next requested stock that I'll be covering on will actually be on Sembcorp. So I think Jade was asking about want to know if Sembcorp is good to enter now or should we wait for more indication? Now, actually, just based on the chart wise, you can actually see that the 20 days, the 100 days, and also the 200 days actually kind of like trading sideways. And previously, it was actually pointing down, so it was actually downtrending. So just a quick one, based on this, it means that you shouldn't actually be entering now lah. So for our team, we actually believe that you should always ride the trend up. So whenever we look at a chart, we look at stocks, we actually look for stocks that are actually uptrending, showing good stocks that have long-term and short-term strength. So based on this wise, currently it's actually trading a bit of sideways. So just a quick one also, you shouldn't be entering now. But let's look at the chart wise. This chart actually previously I also was looking at it. Back in 2024 to 2025, actually has been trading slightly below that 550 key resistance level. So previously back in 2023, 2024, and also 2025, actually came close to that 550 level quite a few times, couldn't break above, and only back in Feb 2025, we managed to go above these 550 key resistance level, turning to a new support level. So you can actually see that after Feb, it actually showed more strength. It went up to close to that 660 level, 650, 660 level, came back down to the 550 support level, managed to stay above around this area. Then afterwards, it went back up to that 650 to 660 level, was consolidating around for about 1 month. And only back in June, it managed to go above the 660, continue to show more strength up to the 780 to the $8 resistance level. So just looking at this chart wise, this 660 level was actually tested quite a few times previously. But I think after last year, August, the earnings came out and actually, it wasn't very good. And it came back down, showed that, there was a 1GT bearish signal. It came back down to that 660 level, but couldn't stay above. So you can actually see that, after July, it came back down to that around the $6 psychological support level. So just basically looking at a chart now, for these recent months, it actually has been trading around the 660 to actually the 620 level for a few months, broke above the 620, came back to test that 660 resistance level, but couldn't break above around this level, couldn't break above back in November, came back down 620, and afterwards, it broke below the $6 support level. So you can also see that there's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3 1GT bearish signal. So just basically looking at the chart wise, it's actually showing a bit of weakness currently. So even though there's a 1GT bearish signal, it doesn't mean that you should enter just because there's a 1GT bearish signal. So there's a few checklists that we actually have to look through before we enter. So one thing is actually we need to look at the long-term and short-term strength. So if you're looking at this wise, the 100 days, the 200 days, both are just trading a bit of sideways. There's no strength. It's just a bit of consolidating around that 6 to 620 level currently. So currently it's around that $6, maybe around the support level. Actually, it broke below that support, close below the $6. So there's some resistance near the $6. So if we were to look at it currently, So there might be some resistance near this $6 level, and if prices are not able to stay above this $6 level, you might see that it might go back down to that 550 key support level that was previously broken back in Feb 2025. So just looking at the chart wise, if you are thinking of to answer your question, Jade, so you are thinking of whether is it a good time to enter now or should you wait for more indication. I'll say currently there's no rush to actually enter now because the price is actually showing a bit of weakness, still consolidating, still staying around the $6 levels. Best is actually if we were to look at it, best if we want to see that the 20 days moving average pointing up first, followed by the 100 days moving average, afterwards followed by that 200 days moving average. So if prices are able to break maybe back to that 660 level, if prices are able to break above it and show more strength, you might see that there's more upsides towards that 780 or $8 level. So currently I would say if you are looking at it, best is to just monitor it. If you want, you can monitor how to see how the prices move for the next few months. So currently, for this price level, it's not really based on the chart wise and the strength wise, it's not really a good time to actually enter now. So I would say best is to wait for some indication to show that there's more strength coming in first before entering. Yeah. So hope that answer your question, Jade. If not, I'll pass my time back to Joey to cover the next stop.
All right, thank you so much, Jay. All right, let me move on to the next stock. Okay, and let's see, that would be this company called UOL. All right, I think Pinky, the Miffy, I think you're asking about this stock right here. Okay, UOL. You bought it at $5.96. Wow, congrats, right? $5.96. The price is $10.41 right now. Should hold or sell. Profit 74%. Well done, well done. So let me see when you got it. So I think you got it in 596. I think maybe you bought it around May, June last year, maybe somewhere over here. Like, I don't know. Did you see the bullish signal? I don't know whether you are a subscriber of mine, whether you got alerted to this bullish signal, but seems like you got in right over here. Pretty good. All right. And it has gone up like based on this bullish signal. We got like pump, two bullish signals, all the way up. About 85%, looking pretty good, right? So back to your question, is it time to sell? Is it time to hold, to let it hopefully move up even more? Well, I would say that for UOL right now, well, we actually have not one, not two, but 4 1GT bullish signals since like April. 1, 2, 3, and in fact, the last one just came out in 6th of January as we began the new year, right? You can see, I think I also sent out a note to my clients in Philips Securities, all right? I think when we kind of like attempted to break the $9. So $9 was a little bit of a resistance right over here. You can see $8.90, $9, tested it. We were like, below it for about 2 months in November and December. Pam, we got a bullish signal, then after that, it become faster, right? All the way up to where we are right now, right? So I think it looks pretty good, right? I think back to the same question, I think previously when I covered like, I'm not too sure what stock, I think we covered like OCBC, all right? Whereby people asking, hey, should I take some profit, right? Can I hold to write even more profit? Well, what happens is that the stock still looks good. If I can turn on, all right, one of the very powerful feature, the same thing, the trailing support level. You can see that this trailing support level, it has popped up since April, May, right over here at $5.46, right? So 546 has been following UOL from 546, follow until 970 right now, right? And it's still following, all right? So as long as we're above the trailing support, right? And we haven't got any bearish signal coming out, I think it still looks good. All right. In fact, when it was like, now it's like about 80%, right? But when it was like 30, 40%, people are also saying, wow, a lot, very high already, 40%, better take some profit, get out. But you don't just look at the 40% or 80% and you think it's very expensive and it's very high, right? Because it can be 80%, but maybe next month become 100, all right? Become 120%. Does it make sense? All right. So we don't look at a number and say, oh, it's very high, right? Profit 74%, I think it's time to sell, right? Because if you do that, well, then it could be 90 or 100% or 120%, right? So that should not be a criteria to take profit. There cannot be, once I make 50%, I will sell. Once I make 100%, I'll sell. But what if you can go up some more? Then you also sell. Cannot be, right? Why you want to sell just because it reached like where you get the 100% or what, right? So we never let a percentage be our, we don't want to sell at this percentage when I make how much I'll sell, right? Rather, we use the one good trend strategy, and based on this one good trend pro indicator, to really maximize our profits, right? And we take steps to protect our profits as it moves even higher. So what we could do right now, right? Pinky, the MIFI, right? You bought UOL 596. So right over here, right? Doesn't matter. I think somewhere here, $6, 596, right? Sure, make money. The main thing is that you want to protect your profits while hopefully giving it the room to move even higher. All right. That means you take steps to have a stop loss plan in place, right? In case it falls to a certain level, you get out, you still make money, right? So what would then be a stop loss level to place such that you protect your profits, right? Well, what could happen is this, right? You could place a stop loss. So for example, this trailing support level, right over here, right? You got in over here, we got the trailing support popping up, right? So what we could do is to, let's say you can set a stop loss below the trailing support level, right over here, right? So you can see, not above, below it, right? Why? Because the trailing support give it space to breathe, right? By right, you should be above it, right? But now you set your stop loss below the trailing support, right below. Don't put like so far below, right? I mean, just kind of like a few bits below, right over here, maybe 2% below it. Additional space in case it really go there. That means really not so good, I mean, if you're giving the stock the space and it should be above it, but yet it used up all the space and go below it, that means really not so good, right? Then you want to get out, right? So put the stop loss below it, right over here, right? The trailing support continue to move higher, you move it higher, all right? There we go. Move higher, then you follow. Still follow, but still below it, right? Below. Don't put above, because above you might hit and get out, and then after that you go up some more, right? So put below the trailing support. Same thing, right? Go up some more, then you follow, right? Now maybe over here, still go up. Okay, then you continue follow, something like this, right? Still go up. Okay, then you continue follow again, right? So I think right now you can put your stop loss maybe at about 957, 956. I mean, just below maybe the 970 level, right over here, to protect your profits, right? So in this way, you do not cut your profits short, right? You allow it the breathing room to hopefully make more profits, right? But doesn't mean you're greedy, You also take steps to protect the downside. You see what I'm saying about? All right. So in any case, you still make money. If it goes down, it hit your stop loss, then you get out, then you still make money also, right? Doesn't matter, right? So in any case, you're protected. You can sleep peacefully, all right? And hopefully it goes higher. You can continue to raise this even higher. I don't know, raise until where, right? But that's one of the techniques we use to, maximize our profits. Don't cut it short, right? But yet take steps to protect it as it moves, as the stock moves even higher. You see what I'm saying about? All right, so that is for UOL. So should hold or sell? Well, I think it looks pretty good. Can continue to hold, can continue to ride it. There's no rush to take some profit, but as I say, like what I said just now as well, nothing wrong to take some profit, some and all right? Take some near a major resistance, like 1050 would be a resistance right now. If like after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, we are still below 1050, then you want to take some near 1050, then also can, up to you, I mean, take some, right? But other than that, if all signals are all still pointing up, it's more up than down, we continue to ride. Okay, Ken? So let me pass on the mic to Bervin to cover the next Singapore stock. Bervin, yours.
All right, thanks, Joey. Okay, let's go. We have Ian. Okay, so hi, Ian. So any thoughts on ST Engineering as per 1GT on entry and exits? All right, as uptrend seems to resume in recent days, accumulate more for dividends or take profit. Bought at around the average price of $1.78. $1.78. So you are sitting on 600% profit. Let me just count. 178 is here, all the way to here, $9. Wow, so much that even my cursor cannot even show the how many percent is that. Weird. Okay, never mind. It looks like percentage change. 426%. First of all, Ian, congratulations. should you accumulate more for dividends or take profit? I think if you are looking at accumulating for dividends, for that reason, purely because it is at $9.37, your dividend yield will not be as attractive as your cost price at $1.78. That's for sure. But should you take profits? All right, just let me turn off this trailing support first. All right, let's turn off the trailing support and resistance lines. I think after the consolidation and the up move since May of last year, ST Engineering had been pretty much just been trading in a larger range of $7.50 all the way to that $9 level. Right, that's for better half of last year. Better half of last year, more than half the year, just moving in that level. And I think most recently, I think if you have been monitoring, you would have seen that yes, it finally broke above and held above that $9 level. All right, push higher closer to that $10 level, but didn't quite make it there, and we saw a little bit of selling pressure actually come in. Right now, that 20 days moving average is very, very close to that immediate support level of maybe between $9 to about $9.10. That's where I would place that immediate psychological support level. All right, so if just now you have seen right here, we can see that that trailing support is right where that horizontal support is at currently. So maybe guys, I think those of you in the chat, if you guys are in Ian's situation here, would you consider to accumulate more, or would you consider to take some profits? All right, so okay, so buy is accumulate, so B for buy more, or S for sell to take profit. All right, before we actually see, let's just see what are the opinions that you guys have at this level. Is it time to sell already? All right, B for buy, S for sell. All right, so Gerard says sell, Betty says sell, ABC says buy, Styler says sell some, Ronald says sell, user says sell. Okay, so I think there is a mix of opinions lah. Eden says buy, sell some, buy, sell some. Catherine says sell some. John says sell some. Okay. Monkey says just hold. Daffy says sell half, keep half for dividends. Okay, so then there is a whole mixed basket of opinions. Okay. What's the plan? I would say nobody here is wrong. But based on the current, what we actually can see from the market, are there more confirmations of weakness or more confirmations of strength? I think that is more important, because got strength, like what Joey said, just continue to hold. No problem, got strength, you can hit up higher. But are there signs of weakness? So much weakness that it's time to move on, because you have been sitting on, Ian has been sitting on 426% of profit already. Okay, and then that's maybe not even taking into account the dividend he has been holding for how many years already. He has more than break even. This is pretty much a risk-free trade at this point for him. Okay, so I think right now, Ian, let's count the number of confirmations of weakness or confirmation of strength first. Okay, confirmation of strength. Okay, we have prices above the 20 days moving average. 20 days moving average also pointing up. There's one confirmation of strength. 100 days, 200 days moving average starting to point up again. Wow, great. Both is good. Okay, prices holding above the support. Another one. So another sign of strength. Prices above the trading support. Another sign of strength. Okay, 2-1 GT bullish signal. Okay, still good. Another sign of strength. Okay, then what's next? Are we in a buy zone for you to go and buy some more? Not quite close to that yet. Still above, still trading at 936. Right, 936. I think right now still not too bad, but I think not in a buy zone. Okay, so maybe there's a sign of not a sign of strength. I wouldn't say it's a sign of weakness as well. Sign of weakness. Okay, we saw sellers. If you want to draw a temporary resistance, right here, about 965. last 3 days, last 4 days, that's where sellers have actually came in. I think yesterday was the key day. We see a little bit of a bearish candlestick. Okay, that's one sign of weakness. Do not see any other signs of weakness just yet. Okay, so I didn't manage to count how many signs of strength I have just now, but I think at least got 4 or 5 lah. Okay, then we have one sign of weakness. So I think Ian also a bit confused. Wow, I confused liao. Okay, don't confuse don't confuse. Okay, so here we go. We have more signs of strength than weakness. All right, you have been holding since how long I don't know, but 426% of profit. All right, last month if you told me you will have sell, yeah, okay, maybe that will be minus 6%. Minus 6% of profit from your 426%. Okay lah, I give it 415% profit. So I would think as of right now, there would not be a reason for you to sell just yet. Continue to ride on the tailwind, continue to ride on the recent momentum. And if that momentum runs out, you are only risking about, say, 7, okay, I'll give it 8% of downside, or 8% of whatever profits you already have. Cannot seem to break $10. Yeah, I think as of now, are we anywhere close to $10? Definitely not lah. We are still quite far away from $10, but we are very close to a point, closer to a point where buyers could come in and rebound. Right, so I think for now, for yourself, it is a no move situation. You are in a good position to take a little bit of risk. Right, you're able to take a little bit of risk where only if prices break below that trailing support and that horizontal support, which just nice coincides at this point. So there's a confluence of factors. Trailing support at the $9 to $9.10 level, horizontal support at the 9 to 9.10 level, 20 days moving average at the 9 to 9.10 level. Also, 3 factors are pointing towards that support. Could be a key level that many buyers are looking at right now. You can take a little bit of risk where only if prices start to break below that $9 level, all right, maybe 8.90, somewhere like that, that's when you consider to take some profits. All right, take some profits because you are already at a very healthy range, right? You are sitting on a very healthy range of profits already, and if it weakens further, then I think time to maybe consider exit out of the position. But I think for the immediate term, focus on setting up some alerts from $9 to 9.10 first, maybe 9.05, 9.06, 9.07, and then some more alerts below that $9 level, 9.90, 8.95, 8.94. I think these are all very, very good levels for you to actually watch out for. And then the next one would be if prices approach to that $10, like you said, whether it can break $10 or not, you don't know. Right? You don't know whether it can break $10. But has it tested $10 just yet? Not just yet. I haven't come anywhere close to testing that $10. But I can tell you for sure, if that $10 level gives way, it's definitely a new phase in this entire uptrend already. Right, so I think this is one of those stocks that have been performing well last year. We're seeing a little bit of a move early this year as well because of tensions. I think next up we want to just protect whatever you have, and if you're intending to accumulate a little bit more, I think these 2 levels above $10 or closer to that $9 level, you can consider accumulate more. But I think at this current price, the dividend yield I think is about 1.8%. I don't think you are looking to accumulate for dividends. You are most likely accumulating for capital gain instead already, because your initial position at 178, those are the ones that gives you the very, very good dividend yield rather than buying at $9. Okay, so Ian, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight. If you are able to, you want to set up not just a price alert, set up a technical alert. Right, technical alert, which means if there's any new buy or sell signal, then you are alerted. Then you come back to see, is it prices have changed or sentiments have changed already, right? Okay, so hopefully that gives a little bit of planning to do for ST engineering. So far, still looking good. A little bit of pullback from yesterday, but it's holding up so far. Okay, so I'll pass the time now to Jai to cover the next stock for you guys.
All right, thank you, Bervin. So the next stock that I'll be covering on will be on this counter, which is China Sunshine. I think Yvonne was asking about China Sunshine. I bought at 0.775. Seems like it cannot break the 0.80. Is there any bullish signal for this stock now, or should I sell? So if you're just looking at the chart wise, if you have the 1GT indicator, you can actually see that currently there's actually a 1GT bullish signal. So there's no bearish signal yet. But just looking at the chart wise, let's look at trend. If you look at the trend wise, now actually the 100 days is actually still pointing a bit up, maybe a bit of sideways. The 200 days is still pointing up, it's still actually around that 0.69 level. But if you look at the 20 days moving average, actually if you notice, the 20 days moving average is actually starting to point downwards already. So we just look at the chart wise, you can see that actually there's some support near the 0.75, and the resistance I would say actually is around that 0.84, maybe that 0.835, that level. Why? It's because previously back in September 2025, this stock actually came close to that 0.835, that level once, but couldn't break above it, came back down to actually the 70 cents support level, went back up to that close to the 84, 83 cents, but couldn't stay above it as well, came back down, and also recently Jan 13 actually came back to test that resistance level again, but as well it couldn't break above this key resistance level. So if just looking at the chart wise, you can see that there's a key resistance near that 835 to 840 level, and currently there is some support near that 75 cents. So I think this counter was previously, quite a counter that actually people monitor, because previously back in 2025, it was around the 44 cents level, and actually went up to actually the 80 cents level within maybe about 6 months. But then recently, if you just look at the chart wise, it's been consolidating around this level of 75 to actually the 84 cents level. So I would say if you previously bought at 0.775, not too sure when you bought it, maybe around the December level, but I would say for this price level, 0.775 is actually near the support of 75 cents to 76 cents level. So it's actually quite a good entry level. But previously when it hit around the 83 cents, 85 cents, 83 to 84 cents level, you could have taken some partial profit, but not too sure if you did. But if you're holding on to the stock now, if you're looking to see whether there's a 1GT bullish signal, there is a 1GT bullish signal, but are you looking to sell now? Actually, I believe now the price is about 0.775, which is actually where you entered at previously. So doesn't really make sense for you to sell off now, because it's actually back to near the support level. But you might want to have a trading plan if prices continue to break below that 75 to 76 support level. If prices break below this level, you might see that you can see that it might move back to that 70 cents key support level that was previously able to stay above this level previously. So for now, if you just look at the trailing support wise, the trailing support is also near that 0.775. So currently the 1GT bullish signal still holds, but if prices break and close below that 0.775 and it breaks below that 0.75 support level, you might see more weakness and you might want to have a stop loss plan. But for now, if it's near the support level and it managed to stay above this level, you might see that prices might continue to actually consolidate around above that 75, maybe move back up to close to that resistance level of 83 level again. So maybe for now, if you are looking at this chart and this counter, I would say based on the support level is near the support level, you might want to consider to still hold a bit longer. But if prices break below the 75, you might want to have a stop loss plan. But if prices go back up close to the 83 level, you might want to take some partial profit just in case prices not able to break the 85 again, 84, 83, come back down to the 875, then you miss the chance of taking a profit. So for now, I would say just hold first. Yeah, so maybe you can monitor and sell near the resistance level. So hope that answers your questions, Yvonne. Yeah, if not, I'll pass my time back to Joey to cover the next stock.
All right, thank you so much, Jai. Let's move on to the very next stock, and that would be this company. I think a lot of people have been asking about this, right? The bank, UOB. So I did OCBC just now, and I realized I was looking through the chat. And by the way, guys, right, there's more than 70 over comments, chat messages asking about your stock. So first thing first, I just want to apologize to all of you if we really cannot cover all the stocks. It will take probably like a few days looking at all the messages, right? So apologies if we cannot cover all of it. We try our best each time. We try to cover like 10 to 12, maybe 15 stock each time. So today we'll do our best again, right? So let me cover the next one, and that would be UOB, right? So let me just go through. I think we have quite a lot of you asking about UOB, right? I mean, someone to buy, someone to sell, someone to wait, right? So let's see. So Inglim, okay to add UOB, all right? Let's find out. We have definitely bought UOB at 36. Well, now it's 39. Congrats. Should I sell or hold? All right, let's find out later. Let's see a few more of UOB. Okay, wait. Wow. UOB. Stanley, UOB. All right, you bought some at 38.38 some months back. Cannot be lah. Now the price is only today, then got 38 plus money. You cannot bought 38 some, maybe 30, 35 or $30 some month back, right? Then congrats to you. You have made some money. Very good. Now let's see, right? Let's see UOB again. Who is asking about UOB? So quite a lot of UOB. So I thought, why not just cover, since I already covered OCBC, let me go to cover UOB, right? RTKW, UOB, sell. All right, let's find out. Should we sell? Let me see. Quite a lot of UOB, right? Then let me just go ahead to see what are any more UOB. So someone to buy, someone to sell, some got in way earlier. And I think that is pretty much it, right? That is pretty much it, right? So, okay, good. So let's take a look at UOB right now. Let's take a look at UOB right now. In fact, I think Weekend asking about how to attain access to the 1GT Pro indicator. I believe you are referring to how we can turn on the bullish and bearish signals in seconds, right? Okay, let me just do it for UOB, right? Right here, pam, there we go. Pam, we get bullish and bearish signals on any stocks, any asset classes in seconds, right? So how do you attain access to that? Well, good question, Hui Kiang. Well, the link is right in the chat, right? Attend a free webinar. We have one last webinar next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. on the 27th of Jan. All right, so link is right in the chat. Click on it, register for it. That's where I'll share with you guys a bit more on not just on the indicator and how you can have access to it, but the framework, the concept, right? The blueprint behind the indicator, so that it makes much more sense, right? So you know exactly why the signals appear, all right? And more importantly, what to do after it appears, right? Then free webinar next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pretty much the last one for the next few months, all right? We don't have any in February or what already, okay? Okay, so let's talk about UOB right now. Let me just pull out one of the UOB comment. Where is UOB, right? Okay. Oh, another UOB. Linda sold some UOB share at 38.97. Oops. Sorry, went up a bit more already. And now it's 39.11. Right. Price too good. Can't resist. We'll buy back when the price drop, but not sure what is the support price level. Please enlighten. Okay, very good. So some cannot take it, sell already. Okay, then went up a bit, right? Okay, never mind. Let's find out about UOB right now. Stanley, UOB just awakened yesterday. Any insight? Okay, let's go take a look at UOB, right? So I want to go ahead to just maybe turn off the signals first very quickly, and let's take a look at UOB, because UOB was one of the banking stocks. I mean, we talk about every 1-2 months now, YouTube videos, and it was one of those stocks whereby we were actually capped below that $36.50 to $37 since the beginning of last year. Right, exactly. For a year, since 2025. Now it's 2026. For 1 year, we have been heading towards the $36.50, $37. You can see right over here, we touch, almost, right? Same thing right over here. And we just couldn't get above that $36.50, $37, right? And over the past 2 days, right? Somewhere right over here, right? Well, I think in fact yesterday, if I'm not wrong, right? I actually got my team to send out a note to our clients by WhatsApp. I mean, as I said, those of you who are clients of mine in Philip Securities, please check your WhatsApp. I think you probably received a WhatsApp from me yesterday on UOB when it was like 37.3 something, right? Check your WhatsApp, right? Okay, those of you who, as I say, if you want to get some of those ideas much faster daily by WhatsApp, right? Link is right in the chat. Find out how you can become a client of mine in Flip Securities for free to get some of those ideas so that you can, write it, faster than when we do this AMAS. It could have gone up a bit already lah. Oh, okay, can. So link is right in the chat. Check it out. Okay. So you can see we broke the $37 right over here yesterday, right? I got my team to send out a note. Why? Because it looks really bullish right over here. Short-term trend was up. We're consolidating below it for about a week and finally pump. Very bullish candle. In fact, when we sent out a note, it was like 37.30 something. You went even higher. Today is, of course, another level up lah. All right. So it looks really, really bullish. Right. Now let's go ahead to turn on the bullish and bearish signals from the 1GT Pro indicator. There we go. Right over here. So if you ask me about UOB, to be honest, if you ask me about UOB in October or in November, I would say I also don't know what it's doing lah. Oh, it's got bearish signal, the short-term trend also going down, like OCBC and DBS is trying to go higher, and then it's going lower, right? What's it trying to do, man, right? So if you ask me in October, November, I'll probably say, I think I probably go that side lah. Probably go OCBC, I think stronger lah, right? But over the past 1 over month, since December, right over here, right, we actually got 2 new 1GT bullish signal, right? Not last week, guys. This one is last month. In 23rd December before Christmas and 6th of January as we began the new year, right? The green line also started to turn up, right? Of course, after that, we broke the $37 and it went even higher. But the point here is that we got 2 new bullish signals already being triggered last month before it really, really rallied. Does it make sense, All right. Okay, now let's go back to take a look at OCBC, right? So when we look at OCBC just now, just want to do a bit of a comparison, right? Okay, when we look at OCBC just now, well, I mentioned that for OCBC, same thing, right? We got 2 bullish signals. And for OCBC, we were actually capped below the $17, all right? That one is, UOB is 37. OCBC is 17, right? But of course, OCBC broke the $17 in November, 6th of November, right over here, right? And once it broke the 17, all the way up. How many percent would that be? Well, that would be about 24%, right? 24%, right? Very strong already. Of course, the bullish signals led it, all the way up. 24%. We broke the resistance, and there we go, right? For the past 2 months. Now let's go back to UOB right now. And this is UOB. So UOB just broke the $37. Not just yesterday, right? It broke the $37. We got a note sent out to our clients. We got bullish signals before that. So, I'm not too sure whether you're all the way up like 24, 25%, like what we're seeing for OCBC. But can you guys see that, if you look at OCBC and UOB, it's a bit different, right? Not saying that OCBC cannot go up some more. Can, but already up quite a lot already over the past 2 months. Whereas this one, UOB, kind of just started, it just broke the $37 resistance over the past 1-2 days. Does it make sense? All right. So that's where I would say that it could potentially offer more upside because this 1 year resistance that we have been trading below. And in fact, we got a couple of bearish signals here, right? As well, it went down, right? But over the past 1 month, never come down. We broke above it. We got 2 bullish signals. The trend indicators are all pointing up. Right, so it definitely looks more bullish right now above that $38, right? So now let's take a look at some of the questions like, okay, like for Linda, I'm sorry, right? You sold it, price too good to resist. We'll buy back when the price drop. I'm not too sure whether it will drop because it looks to be even more bullish. For me, what I think is that $40, right? If I can draw this psychological level for you, 40 would be what we call a psychological resistance level. If we hit to near $40, right? But that's where some profit taking can come back. It might just consolidate below 40 for a while, right? 39.80, 39.90, then be a selling come back, up, down for maybe 1-2 weeks, right? But if the $40 were to give way, could it hit even higher? Well, I would not rule that out, right? That's where I would say that, it could be another phase. These bullish signals could still be in play, right? So we don't just sell stocks because, it's going up a lot, too good to resist, better, based on feeding, the kind of thing, right? No, that should not be a criteria to sell stock. You only sell when there are clear confirmations that it's weak. You see a bearish signal, that kind of thing, right? Then fine. Right? But right now, I think it still looks good, right? So we continue riding it, maximize our profits, maybe even entering more positions along the way to hopefully ride even more profits. Does it make sense, far? All right, so that is for UOB, right? So I hope that I've given you guys, those of you asking about UOB, a little bit of opinion, right? Let me see if I missed some of the UOB questions, right? So let's see, right? Okay, so bought UOB at 36, should sell now or hold? Well, I think continue riding. You got it in 36, right over here. Maybe you got in when you saw the bullish signals, 36. Well, it looks pretty good, right? So same thing, right? I think a lot of the question would be, should you sell? Should you hold? Well, I think right now, no need to rush. If you want to take some profit near $40, near a resistance, if it starts consolidating there, well, you could do that as well. But so far, so good. I think you could continue, to hold, all right? To ride it, all right, for even more upside. All right, so that would be for UOB. So as I say, guys, if you want to get some of those ideas much faster, like UOB when we sent out yesterday by WhatsApp, $37, it was $37.30 over cent, right? Right. Link in chat, click on it, find out how you can become a client of mine in Flip Securities for free at no additional cost. You do not pay anything more. Right, it's the same as whatever you pay when you're trading. I don't know where you're trading, but you need a trading account, right? So you log into the app or website to buy and sell your stock, right? You have a trading account, right? Question, got any service not? Any idea not? Anybody send you any video training, WhatsApp you, call you, or nobody care about you, right? So if no, then link is right below the video, right? So that's where you can visit some ideas by WhatsApp, get WhatsApp support from my team as well. And we look forward to share with you guys some of those top ideas on a daily basis for free, for free. Okay, so let me pass on the mic to Bervin to cover the next Singapore stock. Bervin, yours.
All right, Ken. Thanks, Joey. Okay, so just a quick one before I cover the next stock. I saw some of you guys are asking for the same stocks that actually we have just covered today as well. All right, so maybe I will just do a recap of the stocks that we have actually covered today. And if you would like to check out the stocks that we have covered, you can also just watch the replay after this entire live stream, so you don't miss out on anything. All right, so I think at the very beginning, Joey covered the STI moving up good today. All right, then we covered Hong Kong Land as the first stock. Second stock would be Sheng Siong. Okay, then Jai covered Fraser Properties. Joey covered OCBC Bank. All right, then I covered YangZiJiang Shipbuilding, followed by Sembcorp, followed by UOL, ST Engineering, right? China Sunsine just covered by Jai, and then Joey just did UOB. Very good recovery. It looks like a reversal or breakout is in play for UOB. All right, okay, so next stock that we're going to cover. Let's see right here. Okay, TF. Welcome back. Good morning, Joey and team. Sorry, we just managed to get to your message. Good afternoon, TF. Okay, hope you can help to share your thoughts on Citrum and Singtel. I am profitable on both. Congratulations there. Recently came down. Should I hold or sell? Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll cover Singtel for you, and then you see if it can be applied to Citrum as well. So okay, here we go. I think Singtel for the last few months, leading up to its high of $4.80. There was higher highs or even higher lows that were being formed. They were being formed since April of last year. So the uptrend previously, very, very beautiful. Okay, very, very, very beautiful. Right here, consolidated, pushed higher. All right, pushed higher. Consolidated again for about a week or two. Consolidated again for about 3 months, and then consolidated at a higher range right there. And I think most recently we saw a 1GT bearish signal actually come in. All right, so definitely when you are looking at Singtel, it has went up quite a little bit, right, since last year all the way to now. I think maybe it's time to take some profits if that weakness continues. Right, that key support level, I would say right now, right around that 4.40 level, $4.40. Previously, I think in November of last year, this was where a 1GT bullish signal actually came in. We saw prices break above that 4.40 level, right? After not being able to break above that 4.80 to hit to that $5, we saw weakness come in. All right, a steady stream of sellers are pushing prices back down all the way to the 440 level today. I think market's on break right now, but prior to that, it was trading around $4.44, very close to that 440 level already. Right, so I think right now, majority of the people holding Singtel could be looking at this level. It's a very, very key level. At the same time, why? Is because we have this 1GT bearish signal that actually showed up already. Right, so that shows that there could be potential weakness. Just to reiterate, this 1GT bearish signal coming in doesn't mean that prices must crash down, going down to $3.60, going even lower than that. TF doesn't mean that. It means that at this point of time, there is selling pressure that is building up already. Right, so you have to look towards those key supports to be able to hold up. Right, so this key support of 440 looks to be holding up for the past 3 weeks already. Right, so I think right now for yourself, set up some alerts. Right, set up some alerts below 440 first. 435, 436. I think these are the levels that if prices approach, you could see potential selling pressure increasing. All right, and that's where prices could head back to the $4 level. So I'm not too sure what prices you have bought previously, TF. If you're still here, you can let me know in the chat what prices you have bought previously and you're sitting on what kind of. So we can actually look at what kind of profits you are sitting on. But however, if you are able to still secure some profits, if prices are at that 436, 435 level, great. I think that is where you would potentially want to consider an exit plan with profits, right? To maybe also reposition yourself subsequently. Why? It's because the longer term trend still looks good. Oh, you got it about 250. Great. Then I mean at 436 to 435, you will still be sitting on a healthy amount of profits, right? You still be sitting on a healthy amount of profit, about 30%, just based on mental calculation. I think about 30%. And then you can consider to reposition yourself. Why? Is because the longer term trend still looking not too bad, right? 100 days still pointing up, 200 days still pointing up, but the 20 days are showing weakness already. You don't want to, when everything start to turn, then you regret selling. You want to consider sell, get rid of the position, and if prices really break below that 430, where will be the next support be? The next support will be around that $4 level, right? $4 to maybe 410 level. That is where you could reposition yourself for an entry. Then you can say, hey, but what happens if it doesn't hit below there? Oh, then great. Then if we manage to find a rebound above that 440, that's when you get in again. So definitely a little bit more expensive. All right, so maybe the position could be a slightly smaller position, a more calculated one, in order to ride the upside back towards that 480 resistance first. Then if that gives way, we have that $5 target still in place. But I think for now, selling near-term weakness still there. We want to wait for a little bit of stabilization. If you don't see any stabilization, that is where I think your exit plan, to get out first, enjoy that profits, move on to another counter, don't have a idea where, it will rebound, and come back to 360 and oh shit, didn't rebound. You will never know, right? So I think at this point, protecting profits should be at the top of the list, and then repositioning is the second. Definitely not looking to average down at this or average in to buy in a little bit more at this point, because the nearer term trend still looks a little bit weak. All right, so hopefully that helps for you, TF, to have a plan right now. Next, pass the time to Jai to cover the next requested stock for you guys.
All right, thank you, Bervin. Just give me a sec. Next stock that I'll be covering on, I think this counter was previously quite a hot counter that previously was people looking at. Okay, I think I'll be covering on this. Propnex. So I think Andy was asking, can I go in for Propnex at 2.15? So just currently looking at the chart wise, if you look at the chart, you can see that I would say 220 is a resistance level that I previously was a support that I identified, which actually turned into a resistance now because it broke below this support level. So I would say if you are looking to enter at 215, it's actually near a resistance level, which we actually wouldn't encourage you. because resistance is usually where sellers come in, to push the price back down. So you never know whether the sellers or the buyers have an upper hand. So I would say currently for Propnex wise, if you're looking just at 215, it might be near a resistance level. So wouldn't recommend you to enter near this level. Let's look at the chart wise lah. I think this counter previously, I think last year, I think it actually got buyers interest back in around second half of the year. So I think around last year, if you look at the price wise, actually has been consolidating or like has been trading below this $1.10 level back in Feb, and only in around July, second half of the year, actually moved up quite a bit. So actually back then, I think our team actually mentioned about this counter for clients who are under us. So if you look at it, back then when it was 110, actually went up to close to 260 level. It's an upside of 130%. So I think this counter previously have quite a lot of interest, and I think she went up, broke a few key resistance level, and now it actually came back down, showing a bit of weakness. But I would say if you just look at the chart wise, you can see that there's a support near that 180 level, which I think back in last year December, it actually stayed above this area for quite a while, around this level 180. And I would say currently there's some resistance near that 220 level, and the high was the 260. So the next level was actually a 260 level. So just looking at the chart wise, there's a 1 GT bearish signal, but you shouldn't enter near the resistance, mainly because it's near a resistance. And I would say currently, if you look at it wise, there's some support maybe near that $2 level, which is also near the trading support. So if you're looking to buy Propnex, if you want, you can actually monitor the counter and enter near a support level of 220. Or if you're looking at it, if you are more of an aggressive person, I would say currently the 100 days moving average is still kind of pointing downwards. So for me, I actually will look at it when it breaks above that 220 level. So nothing wrong to buy at a higher price when there's more confirmation. But if prices were to break above this 220 level, you might see that the 100 days moving average will start to point up as well. So the 200 days is already pointing up, the 20 days is already pointing up. And if prices are able to break above that 220 level and stay above it, you might see that the 100 days moving average is also starting to point up. So by then, might see that there's more short to long-term strength, and there might be more upside towards that 260 level. So maybe if you're more aggressive, you can set alert around that 223. Maybe this level, when prices cross above this 223 level, you'll be notified and you can come in to monitor. So if you look at it, if prices are able to break above this 220 level, you might see that there's an upside of 220 to the next resistance of 260. That's about a 16% upside. So for me, I would say currently, if you're looking at, to answer your question, Andy, if you're looking at to buy at 215, I wouldn't recommend. Best is to monitor whether it breaks above that 220 level, or maybe it comes back down to that $2 psychological support level. So these are the two levels that you can monitor before entering. Yeah, but for now, I would say near that 213, maybe for now you just monitor first. Don't enter yet. Yep. Hope that answered your question, Andy. If not, I'll pass my time back to Joey.
All right, very good. Let's move on. Maybe what we can do is we can just go through one more round. We can just go one more round very quickly. All right. So as I say, guys, there's more than 60, 70 over counters that I just did a manual count. All right. So hopefully, we have covered your stock. Sorry, but in case we did not cover yours, I think then my apologies. Right. We hope that we can cover maybe the next Friday or next Friday when we do back the Singapore Ask Me Any Stock session. Right. Okay. Now let's take a look at the next stock. Right, and that would be this company. Okay, I think since I've been talking about the banks, right? So I thought, why not? A lot of people have been asking about, not just OCBC, but also UOB, but also DBS, because they have been moving over the past 1-2 weeks, all right, very strongly. All right, let's take a look. Jan, DBS bank shares have been trending up. Can you please advise when it's a good time to enter? So some are looking to enter. Yes, got up. They have missed entering earlier. All right, when is a good time to enter? Or maybe don't enter, right? Let's take a look. Another of DBS. So quite a few DBS as well, right? So I've talked about OCBC. I talked about UOB. I thought, why not I just do DBS and then we, cover everything, right? Please share about DBS. It broke 58. Yeah, correct. Now it's 58.60, right? Is it a still good entry to enter for upside? So, looking to enter. Thank you so much, Joel, for giving us a bit of context. All right, let's see. All right, so quite a lot of DBS. I'm trying to scroll through the comments. My apologies if I missed your DBS comment, but yeah, I think quite a lot, right? So basically, let's just pull out one of them, right? ABC, Joey, do you also touch on DBS is moving again, thinking of accumulating some more, right? So I think most of you have got in, or maybe didn't get in, looking to buy, or some got in and looking to buy even more. All right, could there be even more upside? So let's take a look at DBS right now. So you can see that for DBS, well, let's do a quick recap. Remember for OCBC, I talked about it breaking the $17, all right, in November. Let's take a look at it again, right? $17, OCBC, right over here. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, this OCBC, correct. So OCBC, we broke 17, all right, we got let's turn it on, the bullish pump, two bullish signals. There we go, all the way up, all right? We broke $17. That is OCBC. We did it in November, we broke it, right? Of course, clients got alerted by WhatsApp. Those of you who are clients, check your WhatsApp, all right? And then, of course, there's a few other WhatsApp along the way as you move up, okay? Next one, UOB. UOB just broke the $37. Right, not 17. UOB is $37. When? Yesterday, right? Yesterday, right over here. Of course, I say clients were alerted as well. Today, unfortunately, it went up even more, right? And apologies if you were not alerted, if you're not yet a client, but if you want to be alerted, check out the link in the chat, how you can become a client of mine. Philips Securities for free, you get ideas by WhatsApp on a daily basis, right? But you can see, the fact is that we have broken that $37. It just happened yesterday, all right? OCBC happened in November. UOB yesterday, right? So I think UOB is a catch-up play, all right? OCBC has already done it in November, right? DBS later we find out, right? But UOB, as I say, it just started yesterday, a bit more expensive already, but it's a catch-up play, all right? I'm not too sure whether it can break 40 to hit to 42, 43, 44, 45, I don't know, right? It's a catch-up play, right? The breakout above the 1-year resistance has just finally happened yesterday. Now let's go back to DBS, right? So remember, OCBC broke $17 in November, about 2 months back. UOB yesterday, okay, and then it went up a bit already, okay? DBS. Okay, let me go to turn off the bullish and bearish signal. So DBS was when? DBS, well, right over here, right? If you've been following my YouTube videos as well, right, you can see that I talk about DBS. So DBS was actually even earlier than OCBC, right? It happened on July, right over here. What would be that level? Well, DBS is $44, $45, right over here. Was it somewhere around $45 over here? Right? We broke it somewhere in July. $45. Same thing, right? Beginning of the year for DBS, we've been consolidating below 40, 45. Then come back down in April, got tariff, come back down. We just couldn't get above that 45 level. But in July, pump, we broke the 45. All right. And what happened? Right? There we go. All the way to now. Right. So not saying that DBS you cannot buy, right? But DBS is strong. It's the leader of the entire three banks, for sure. I mean, it happened in July, right? Now it's really, right? So it happened first, then OCBC, then now UOB just started yesterday, right? So we broke that key resistance. Of course, let's turn on the bullish and bearish signals to see if there are any supporting confirmations, all right? Right up there, right? Pump, there we go, turn it on. So you can see when it broke, pump, two bullish signals. So it seems like every time we got pump, two bullish signals, then it break, then all the way up, right? So, right, we got the first one right over here, for DBS, second one in July, just before it break, then after it break, then it all the way up, right? And let's just look at what has happened over the past 2 to 3 months. So you can see, right? A few bearish signals went sideways, went down a little bit, but few more new 1GT bullish signals actually got triggered since November, and it started to push even higher, all right? From like about 45, it went to 54. 54, it consolidated a while, and we were actually below this minor resistance near that $55. You can see right over here, right? Came down, palm, another leg up, all right? After breaking that 55 resistance, all the way to now we are 58.60. Okay, so thinking of accumulating more. Well, nothing wrong. I would say the DBS is still a leader, right? I mean, it's gone up since like July last year when we broke the 45. We got bullish signals. It's still in play. So I think nothing wrong to think about accumulating DBS. In fact, I think right now we could see some support right over here around that $57. Right, let me just show it to you right over here. That would be where some bargain hunting can come back again, right? 57 or maybe even near that 57.50, right over here. I mean, that's where you can see the past 2-3 weeks rebounded. In fact, we sold off, right, past few days when Trump said something, right, and then we rebounded away, right? So $57, $57.30. I think that could be where some horizontal key support level have came out all the way to that $59. Right? 59, it seems like that's where selling is happening, right? 58.60, right over here. So that is kind of like the range, 57 to 59. Right, $2 range. So nothing wrong. I think it's fine. All right, and if you can go to turn on the trailing support, all right, right over here for DBS, and let's see what it says. Right, you can see that this trailing support followed DBS from November when we got bullish signals coming out. Right, follow, and in fact, yeah, it's kind of like where I've just drawn this horizontal support around at $57. So anything above that $57, I think it looks pretty good, right? The uptrend is still firmly intact. And if you look at the green 20 days moving average line, that represents the short-term trend. It was flat. We got a bullish signal being triggered in December. It started to point up as another confirmation. Up, still up, right? So uptrend looks intact as well. Anything above 57, I think DBS, that's where some bargain hunting can come back again, right? So to those of you who are looking to accumulate, well, I think you can try. I'm not too sure whether you'll go down for you to buy. Now it's 58.60. If you ask me, Joey, then can it go to 57.20 for me to buy? I forget to buy 2 days ago. 3 words. I don't know, right? I mean, if I know, that'll be good, but I don't know, right? But right now, if it stays above 57, then I think that that could be where we could still see more upside. It could be a very good opportunity to accumulate on dips above 57 as well. Because if the 59 were to give way, well, that's where targets could be revised. It could be to 60, 62, right? That could be the next upside targets. And we'll see how long these bullish signals continue to play out. But we can continue riding it even more. You see what I'm saying so far? All right, so this is DBS. Strong, the leader of the bank. It happened in July already. It's gone up. OCBC caught up. UOB just caught up yesterday. All right, so that's where I would say all three banks are strong, right? Just that, where do you want to put your funds, right? So I'll leave it to you, right? But overall, all of them look pretty bullish as we begin 2026. All right, so let me pass on the mic to Bervin to cover the next Singapore stock. Bervin?
All right, thanks, Joey. Okay, so since Joey covered DBS, I think I still got one more financial counter that I think a lot of people forgot in the most recent days, I would say. Here we go. David, David is still here. Thinking of buying IFAST. Should I wait for price to retrace back to $10 or should I wait for it to close above 10.30 for entry? If you are like me, you haven't monitored IFAST for the past year or year and a half. It has been a while. And I think finally we actually saw IFAST actually making some very, very good moves. Good moves above the $10 level, right? Above the $10 level. Finally, we actually see IFAST breaking that $10 level. I think previously it had tested this $10 level, wasn't able to break above it. All right, wasn't able to break above it. Came back down. It is very, very largely very volatile. The counter remains very volatile due to the number of outstanding shares that they have. But I think most recently it found a little bit more strength to finally push above that psychological level that I think majority of the people are actually looking at. And most impressively, I think over the last week actually, it has rebounded off this level as well, the psychological $10 level as well. So So I think this psychological level has finally became a new support level. A new support level that I think maybe this could be a level that we could position ourselves to get in. All right, so I mean definitely at $10.41 doesn't fall within that buy zone. But if prices were to retrace close to that $10 level, especially with that 20 days moving average showing strength, that 1GT bullish signal just appearing not too long ago, last week, and right now we have that $10 level holding, and this is a potential level that can actually look to accumulate. All right, look to accumulate as long as we don't see any bearish price actions come in. All right, but where is the next target, David or Lawrence? All right, okay, here we go. Let's do a little bit of a projection since my last support right there, about $9.20 all the way up to $10 right now, maybe to about that 1080 level. The 1080 level is where I would draw that immediate resistance to expect a little bit of selling pressure to come back in, some profit taking to come back in, especially for those who have bought recently. They'll be sitting on quite a good profit already, about 10% from $10 level, 8 to 10% from that current buy zone levels. All right, so I think right now, if we just turn on that trailing support very quickly right there, you can see that that trailing support actually usually majority of the time quite far from that prices, right? Quite far from our prices. This is why we always say the trading support gives the stock room to breathe. It takes into account the natural volatility. So for IFAST, you can see that the natural volatility of IFAST compared to other counters, it is higher. That's why the space, your usual space trading support and the price is actually quite far. All right, the trading support right now, right around that $9.70 level, 970 level. So I think potentially, David, if you were looking to get in, that is where potentially you want to set your stop limit orders, your stop loss orders, right? Under the 970 level. If prices really U-turn, that $10 psychological level is really not able to hold up even after the recent rebound, at least you get out with some profits, because you can see it can get quite volatile quite fast. And if without a trading plan, I think it can be quite lost, especially if prices move down very quickly. Of course, if prices hit higher, this trading support will hit higher as well. All right, it will hit higher as well. And then that's when you want to start shifting your stop limit orders, and very quickly, because of the volatility, you will be protecting profits, and that either way, you will be moving out of the position with profit, even if prices U-turn. But I think in the nearer term, target towards 1080 first, buy zone definitely above $10, $10 to maybe about 1010. I think that is where we could potentially do a little bit of a bargain hunting to position ourselves for the next move up. All right, so I think there's a very, very quick one for IFAST. Thanks for reintroducing it into my watch list also, David. I'll pass the time now to Jai to cover the last requested stock from you guys before we move on to the bonus stocks. Jai?
All right, thank you, Bervin. Okay, so I think the next stock that I'll be covering on will be actually on CNMC Goldmine. I believe quite a few people are asking on this counter. I think Joe was asking, share about CNMC Goldmine, wondering if it's considered a good entry at 1.28. Yu Chu was also asking, traded CNMC since July 2025, with 0.45 entry, still holding core quantity. Thinking of adding, is it a good entry point now? And I think there's still someone asking about CNMC Goldmine bought at 1.24, it fall quickly yesterday, to hold or to sell or to hold. I think this counter have just give me a second. I think this counter previously, I think last year has shown quite a strong interest as well. Previously, if you look at the chart wise, it has been actually consolidating previously below that 50 cents level back then, back in April 2025. So it's been consolidating around that 40 cents to 50 cents level, and back in last year August, actually it went above that 50 cents level, showed very good strength and went up to that 140 level. So currently, just looking at the chart wise, if you just look at it, previously when it hit the 1.40 back in October, it couldn't break above, came back down to that $1 support level, has been consolidating around that $1 to $1.20. So I think back in October to last year, no, actually this year, January, mid of 13, actually just maybe last week, has been consolidating around this $1 to $1 resistance level, $1 to 120 level. So it has been actually trading a bit of sideways. That's why you see that the 20 days moving average actually start to point down and also trade a bit of sideways. But currently, if you just look at the chart wise, recently it broke above that $1.20 key resistance level, and you see that actually the 20 days moving average now is actually also pointing up, and there's a 1GT bullish signal that actually appeared back in just 13 Jan. That was just last Tuesday or previous Tuesday. So if you are looking at the price now, it's around that 1.28 level. I'll say currently, just looking at the chart, sorry, just give me a sec. I would say currently the support is around that 120 support level and the resistance is near that 140 level. So I think some of you are asking whether what's a good entry level. Usually recommend to enter near a support level. So if we identify that the 120 is a support level, maybe around that 120 to 123 or 124, that might be a better entry level as compared to the current price of 1.28. Because 1.28 is actually, if you identify the resistance is near 1.40, it's actually like halfway in between the 1.2 to 1.40. So it's a bit like nowhere. So if you're looking to enter, maybe 1.20 might be a better entry level as compared to the current price. But if prices, if prices are not able to stay above that 1.20, it might come back down to that 1.00, that level. But I would say if you're looking to enter now, 1.20 is a key resistance level that was broken just quite recently. So you might want to monitor to see if prices are able to stay above this 1.20. If prices are able to stay above this 1.20 and move up maybe close to that 1.40, just do a simple projection, which is from 1.20 to 1.40. I think the next upside target might be around that 1.60 level. So if it's able to break above the key resistance level of 1.40, which is not able to break above last year October, you might see more upside towards the 1.60. So I think just now someone was asking, I think Bennett was asking about the potential upside. So I would say for simple projection wise, if it's able to break above that 1.40, the next upside target might be close to that 1.60. Yep. And I believe this counter actually was covered by Joey for clients under us. So I think CNMC Goldmine was covered back in Jan 14 when the price actually broke above that 1.20. I think Joey also sent out a WhatsApp broadcast to clients under us to share about this counter. So I believe if you are a client under us, you should have already gotten the WhatsApp broadcast. But if you're not a client under us, I think if you're interested, you can also join Joey as a client so that you can receive the broadcast on a daily basis. And I think the team just put the link below so that those that are interested to join as a client, you can actually click into the link and also register under us as a client. Yep. If not, I'll pass my time back to Joey.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Jai. Very good, right? So yes, I think what Jai mentioned as well is correct, right? So as I say, guys, some of those stocks, in fact, many of those stocks that you guys were asking about, in fact, that's where we actually got a note that was sent out to our clients in Philips Securities for free or by WhatsApp. So the link is right in the chat. Check it out if you want to get some of those ideas daily by WhatsApp. Free. All right, free, right? Link is right in the chat, okay? Especially as I say, if you are trading and then you don't get any service from your own broker, you just like own self log in, own self anyhow buy, tikam yourself, that kind of thing, right? Link in the chat, click on it, right? Find out how you can get some of those service for free. You do not pay anything more, just to be clear, you do not pay anything more, okay? link in the chat. Okay, now let's move on to the next stock, right? Okay, so basically, guys, I think we have quite a lot of you joining us today. I think the market's a bit more hot, right? A bit more bullish. The banks are, rallying. The STI even further. So by right, normally we'll cover like 15 stocks, but I thought, why not we just go one more round? Because I see there's more than 70, 80 over stock. I feel a bit bad. We never push ourselves to cover more. So, Jai, can we just do like one final round, one more round, Ken?
All right, let's go. One more round.
Okay, let's go. Just one more round. And after that, we go to the bonus stock at the end, whereby each of us will share with you, total each three bonus stocks total that we like. All right, in the Singapore market. Okay, so let's move on to the next stock that is asked, and let's see. Okay, that's asked by Lam. All right, can please cover WeHer and CSE Global? What would be a good entry for both? Maybe I'll just choose one of them, which will be WeHer. Right? Why did I choose this? Well, because this was actually one of the stocks that, if I'm not wrong, it was in our watch list. I also got a note out to our clients because we saw some bullish signals actually coming in. All right, so let's talk about WeHer right now. So you can see that for WeHer, well, since last year, like April, we got a bullish signal, right? But it was kind of like just moving sideways. The green line was actually kind of like flat, right? So the longer term trend was up. Look at the red and blue line, no problem. Longer term trend is up. But as I see, doesn't mean we get a bullish signal, like one green signal come out, means we just anyhow go and buy. No. Right? Because why? When a bullish signal come out, it is just one confirmation. All right. It's not like it's just throw it anyhow go and buy. No, right? It's just one confirmation. We have a 7-step checklist to guide us on, the entry, is there other confirmations that supports these bullish signals? And that's what we are looking for. All right. So when we got a bullish signal, the green line was actually still flat, right? Only after 2 months, then pump. 2 more bullish, not one, but 2 more, right? And then you see the green line also start to turn up. That's another confirmation. And what happened? All the way up. How many percent, right? That would be like, 59. 59. Yeah, 59% in like 3 months. All right. And then after that, 59%, you see a bearish signal, then you take some profit, get out nothing wrong, right? So get out, right? Then it was, so if you ask me in like, after like, September, October, November, December, well, I would say, I don't know what it's doing. It's like moving sideways, a bit boring, it was like going up and down. It was kept below this resistance at about the 78 cents resistance, right? For like 4, 5, 6 months, right? Come down. Right? So if you ask me in October, November, I'll say this one, I think, forget it. I'll go and look at other stock there, OCBC or whatever that is stronger, right? There's bullish signals coming up, right? But this was just resting. Doesn't mean it's going down, doesn't mean it's going to crash or what. No, but it's just resting. It's just moving sideways, all right? And it's boring because you can go sideways for 1 month, 2 months. After I buy already, after 2 months, you still same price, then buy for what, right? So we want to buy stocks that are moving up, they are strong, they have proven themselves in an uptrend, all right? And showing signs of even more upside momentum. That's what we're going to buy, right? So you can see that for WeHer, well, over the past 2-3 weeks, it seems like it's woken up because we got not 1 but 2 GT bullish signal. I mean, previously also got 2 pump, right? So now also got 2. Of course, it went up a little bit already, all right? It's about 90 cents right now. So what could be a good entry for both? Well, I would say that long-term trend is up. 2 bullish signals got triggered as we attempted to break the 78 to 80 cents resistance level right over here. As I say that we were trading below since September for like 4 or 5 months, right? Finally, that's given way. We got bullish signals. If you look at the green line, same thing. It was like very flat, right? Boring, but pump. 2 bullish signals. The green lines started to turn up. Is it still turning up? Yeah, still turning up. Right? So the short-term trend is still up as of now, right? Long-term trend is up, short-term trend is up. I would say support maybe would have come out around that 85 cents. I think right over here. In fact, I think over the past few days, when Trump threatened about tariffs on Greenland, forceful takeover of Greenland, all that, when the market started to sell down, we saw a bit of weakness, but it went to around that 85 cents. I think that's where we are seeing a bit of support right now. 85. All the way maybe to the 95 cents. I think that is kind of like the range 85 to 95, which is like 10 cents 85 to 90 cents, about 10 cents range. So I think it still looks okay, probably consolidating for a while. If the 95 cents were to give way, well, I think targets could be to $1 to even $1.10 as well. All right, so this is for WeHer. I think any dips to near like 86. I'm not too sure whether you go to 85 again, right? But I think near 85 could be 87, 88, 89, all right, around there. That could be where some bargain hunting could come back again as we attempt, right, to push towards the recent high around the 95 cents. Does it make sense, Bob? All right, so that is for WeHer. Definitely one of the stocks that, it looks pretty bullish. Yes, started to see a bit more strength over the past 1 month, right? Past 3 weeks, I would say, since the beginning of 2026. All right, so that is for WeHer. And by the way, guys, I want to share this. I forgot to share this just now, but essentially, right, what we've been talking about will be the one good trend strategy. All right, and based on this strategy, we have the 1GT Pro indicator. All right, 1GT Pro indicator right over here. And that's what me and my team has been using to analyze the stock that you guys were asking about, right? We pretty much just turn on and then you see the bullish and bearish signal, and then and we do a bit of analysis from there, right? So what happens is that we're using the Pro indicator. So if you want to find a bit more on that, you can attend a free webinar. But I want to share this as well, right? That we do actually have what we call a light indicator. Right? I call it the one good trend light indicator. All right. So what's the difference between the Pro and the light? Well, the Pro is you get more features, more boxes, more confirmations. But we do have a light indicator whereby it's more simpler. It allows you to turn on the bullish and bearish signals in seconds, all right? And of course, the moving averages as well, just to give you a quick opinion as well. So you can actually test drive the one good trend light indicator for free, right? So click on the link in the chat. I think just place the link in the chat, right? It's right in the chat already. Click on it. You come to this page, right? The exact trading tool that me and my team use daily, right, to spot winning trades. Now yours for 14 days free, right? Get clear buy and sell signals in seconds, even if you're not a trading expert. So basically, you can do what we do, type the name of any stocks, any asset classes, DBS, whatever you want. All right, test drive the 1GT Lite indicator for free. And you get over $3,000 worth of training, all right, money-making information for free, just for testing it out, just for you. So one good trend, a light indicator, yet free. The link is right in the chat. So I realized I did not share about this, so I thought make sure I don't miss this, right? So that is for WeHer. Now, let me pass on the mic to Bervin, right, to cover his last Singapore stock. Bervin, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Joey. Okay, so let's go very quickly. Here we go. Simon, looking to buy sets. Okay, Ken, let me just change it up here. All right, Simon, hopefully you're still with us. I saw you sent the message at about 10:52. All right, so we are about 2.5 hours, about 2.5 hours in already. All right, so this is sets. I think sets. Most recently, I think it looks like there is a reversal in play, right? From September, the 100 days moving average line finally crossed above that 200 days moving average blue line already, and we have two 1GT bullish signals that came out at that point of time, but was very quickly cancelled out by this 1GT bearish signal that actually came in October. But towards the end of last year, mid to end of last year, we have this 1GT bullish signal that I have circled in green right there. And prices have pushed higher. All right, pushed higher very quickly over the span of the remaining of last year. And for the entire period of this year so far, January, all right, we have held above the $3.75 level. All right, so Simon, we have already drawn some targets here because we are also actually monitoring this counter. But as of right now, we are still kept under that psychological $4 level. This $4 level was previously where we saw sellers come in November and push prices all the way down to that $2.40 level, close to almost a 50% dip in price. But right now we are right back then at that very close to that $4 level already. Prices were trading at $3.90 before lunch. So I think right now, does it look like an immediate buy for sets? I would not think to buy immediately. I would much rather wait for one more confirmation that break out above that $4, buying at a new high. In fact, buying at a new high, I think would be great, or the more recent year high would be great as well, because the last thing we want is for the heavy selling pressure to come in once again to push prices back down from that $4 level. But at least right now, compared to maybe if you ask me in the middle of last year whether to buy or not, I would think that longer term trend doesn't look as good as compared to right now. Hey, the longer term trend looks good. The shorter term trend also looks good. Just that prices are in a little bit of like a no man's land between that 375 and $4 level. I mean, if you buy now, I think the reward to risk ratio may not be sufficient. You may end up with a stuck position if prices just move a little bit. So why not set up some alerts? 376, 378, 379, maybe even up to 380 for that alert that prices have pulled back a little bit, potentially giving you the opportunity to get in. Or alternatively, you can set up an alert above the sell zone. Above the sell zone meaning above that resistance, that psychological $4 resistance. Sell zones are where sellers tends to come in very quickly, as you approach a very, very key resistance that was the previous high as well. I think that is a level you want to clear first and have it as a new support. All right, have prices find a new higher support, and that's where we could see buying interest being renewed, or buying interest once again come in, the additional momentum to push prices a little bit higher towards that $4.25 level. All right, so we are very clearly, of course, above the trailing support. The trailing support will be about that 372 level right now. So if prices were to retrace closer to the immediate immediate support, your stop limit order could be just below that 372 trailing support, keeping your downside very, very minimal and to ride that reversal of that uptrend. All right, so I think for sets, that is a very quick one. I think it's a very clear trading plan that can be formed from the current prices. So I'll pass the time now to Jai to cover the next, or say last requested stock for today. Jai, please.
All right, thank you, Bhavin. Okay, the last requested stock that I'll be covering on will be on this counter. I think it's been a while since I saw this counter, so it'll be on Hopper. So I believe Jasmine was asking about it. Bought around $10.02, has been going up lately. Still worth holding. So I think this counter wise, based on the chart wise, it's been going up, showing very good strength all the way the 100 days and the 200 days and the 100 days has been pointing up, and I think today is also at the all-time high. So just looking at the chart wise, previously, if you're just looking at a projection, just looking at your price that you enter around that $10, I think you maybe enter around back in last year Feb, or maybe around that Feb area, and just doing a simple projection, now it should be up around close to 59%. Yep. So I believe this counter previously back in Feb to actually June last year has been trading below that $12 level and couldn't break above this. And back in July, it actually broke above and also continued to show more strength. So currently, just looking at the chart wise, I would say now there might be some support near that $16 level, and just doing a simple projection based on what I see. Previously it was around that $15 to 16. Now from 16 level, actually just doing a simple projection, $1 upwards. I would say near term wise there's some resistance near that $17 psychological level. But I would say based on the chart wise, the strength is still there. 200 days, 100 days, and 20 days moving average are still pointing up. And not only that, you can see that the 1GT bullish signal, not only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 1GT bullish signal. So it means that there's still buying interest. Prices are still going up, showing more strength. And if prices are able to break above this $7 psychological resistance level, the next upside might be towards that, actually around the 18 level. So I would say currently, if you're holding on to it and still, I believe you are in a profit already. But there's nothing wrong to actually to sell some near that $17 psychological resistance level, just in case prices are not able to break above this 17 and come back down to that, actually come back down to the 16 support level. So if I were to just open up the trailing support, you can see that actually now currently the trailing support is around the 16 level. So if prices are not able to break above that 17 and come back down to the 16 support level and show more weakness, you might see a 1GT bearish signal that appears if it breaks below that $16 support level. But like what I would say, if just looking at the chart wise, currently it's actually showing very strong strength, some resistance near the 17 level, but it's still worth holding it, but you might want to consider to take some partial profit near the 17 resistance level, just in case you're not able to break above, come back down to the support. That might be another level that you can consider to re-enter again. Yep. So hope that answer your questions, Jasmine. Yeah, if not, I'll pass my time back to Joey to cover the first bonus stock.
All right, thank you so much. And there we have it, guys. We have pretty much covered, I would say, a total of like 18 stocks already, right? So let me just go to kind of like, say the names out of all the stocks that we covered so far, right? So right at the beginning, we covered the market, the STI, the Straits Times Index, okay? And after that, what happens was we actually covered the very first stock that I chose was HongKong Land, right? Right over there, HongKong Land, that was the first stock. Second stock, Mervyn covered Sheng Siong, Fraser Property, OCBC, YangZiJiang Shipbuilding, Sembcorp Industries, UOL, ST Engineering, China Sunsine, UOB, Singtel, Propnex, DBS, IFAST, CNMC Goldmine, Sets, and Jiayi just covered on Hor-Ba, right? So these are the total of like 18 Singapore stocks that we covered today. We hope that we have covered as many as possible. All right. Sorry that we cannot cover all of it, right? Those of you hopefully can join us in the next Friday that we're back to Singapore. Next Friday will be for US market, right? But now let's go back to the US stocks very quickly. All right. And here we are right now. The bonus stock for today. All right. Let me go ahead to let's put this out. Food Empire, right? Food Empire, right over here. Okay, let me just go. So this is Food Empire, right? At about $2.79. It's pretty much the bonus stock I'll share with you guys today. All right, and why is this so? So you can see that for Food Empire, right? Since like last year, actually, it was one of the stocks that we've been sharing with our clients as well. Because it turned into a very strong uptrend, I would say, after consolidating sideways in 2024, right? So in fact, let me go ahead to turn on the bullish and bearish signals right over here, and there we go, right? We got a bullish signal in February last year, went all the way up. Got a bearish signal, 1 week went down. Another bullish signal came out, and there we go again, right? All the way up, right? All the way up from April to September, all right, right over here. So pretty good move, right? So I think if you've been, our clients since like last year, well, you probably receive a few, not just one or two, but I think a few WhatsApp, ideas on Food Empire all the way up to 99%, right? 99% in about 5 months, right? And then what happens? We got a bearish signal. It started to consolidate. So what was the consolidation range we have seen from September all the way to now? Well, I would say the consolidation range would be right over here, quite clearly from $2.20, right? You see rebound, right? 220 to this level right over here. And I would say somewhere around the $2.70 to maybe the $2.75, something like this, right over here. So 220 to 275, right? Up, down, right? For the past 6 months, I would say since like August, right? But we got a very strong rally. I mean, from April, right? 99%, it starts to rest. Okay. So why is this stock back to my watch list? Well, you can see that over the past week, well, we got not one, but we got two new 1GT bullish signals actually being triggered. Two new 1GT bullish signals being triggered. And if you take a look at the green 20 days moving average line, you can see that it was actually pointing down in December, right? January flattened out a little bit. Past 1-2 weeks started to point up, right, as another confirmation of the short-term trend also turning up. right? And over the past 2 days, you can see that, okay, so this is just kind of like just happening. We need actually a bit more confirmation, right? What would that be? Well, if we can go above that 280, we break above it, we stay above it, right? 281, 82, 83. In fact, I already set some alerts right over here, right? So now it's kind of like just attempting, like testing, right? To hopefully break this key resistance that we've been trading below since September, right? But over the next few days, okay, today is Friday already, so maybe next week, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or next week, right? If you can break the 280 firmly, right, and we see some things that we want to look out for, right, in terms of the volume and some other bullish price actions that we're looking for, that could be another confirmation whereby we could see targets being raised and a firm move out of this consolidation phase. Projected upwards from here to here, I would say it could be anywhere near that 330 level. That could be the next upside target, just to do a little bit of a projection. If we were to break maybe the 380, now it's what? Now it's 279. So we can break 280, all right? Now it's 278, 279. So like a bit here, a bit there, right? I don't know, right? But we'll see, right? But this is just happening. So I think next few days, next week will be quite critical. If that happens, good. We see some other confirmations that could lead the strong move up to a higher target, all the way to maybe even $3.30. All right, so this is food and fire. You just came back to my watch list. This one I'm gonna share with you guys. All right, whereby I think it looks pretty good. Right, let's see if the confirmation we seek comes. Right, if it does, that's where you could ride it even further. Right, for the next phase of upside. All right, so that is my bonus stock for today, Food Empire. Let me go to pass on the mic to Bervin to cover his bonus stock for today. Bervin?
All right, thanks, Joey. Okay, so Joey covered Food Empire, a little bit defensive. So I think today the team a little bit more defensive. Mine is also a little bit defensive. Mine, I will be covering DFI Retail Group. All right, so I saw somebody was actually asking about this stock. I think Jason, not sure you're still here or not. All right, bought D01 at 4.15. All right, please share some insights. All right, Jason, no worries, I got you there. Just let me change that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we have Delphi Retail Group, DFI Retail Group. Stock code is D01. D01. All right, so I think for Delphi Retail Group, DFI, I think we are seeing a little bit of weakness. I mean, for sure coming in. But why is this the bonus stock? It's because prices have been consolidating since December up to now for more than a month already. All right, for more than a month already. And previously we can see that the 20 days moving average sloped down a little bit. But right now he has started to slope up again. So definitely that 420 level is an immediate resistance. So Jason bought at about 415 just now. So I think 415, yeah, a little bit close to the resistance, but that entry, I mean, of course, if it's a better entry closer to that $3.90 to $4 psychological level would have been what I would have preferred. But never mind, since I already got in, let's focus on the next level. So using a little bit of projection like what Joey have done. All right, just project a little bit upwards. All right, just project a little bit upwards to about that $4.50 level. That is where we have drawn the next target. All right, that next up move could be seen. I think for right now, Jason, if you're like me, just set up an alert, right click, one good trend. Is this a technical alert? It's not a price alert. A new buy or sell signal, just create. I have already created it, so I'm not going to create one more time. But you can create it, and then if prices finally break above that 420 level, we can see another 1GT bullish signal potentially appearing just under that 420 level, which I think would be the next leg of this uptrend. So I think from that first 1GT bullish signal up to now, we have already seen over 20% up move. All right, a 20% up move. And we have indeed found a new higher support. So right now, I think DFI's uptrend still looking very good. Consolidate, push higher, consolidate, push higher. The kind of trend that we all like as well. Very stable, more or less can be quite predictable. So just under that 390 level, right? You may want to have some alerts as well. Look at that trailing support right there, 380. So just under that 380, 390 level, you just want to have an alert or a stop limit order being placed for those of you who have already got into position for D01. This is where you want to protect some of those profits. You want to protect partial of that 20% of the profits that you have already seen if you have gotten in from the first 1GT bullish signal that actually came in October. Otherwise, if prices break above that 420 level, I think that definitely unlocks that upside towards $4.50. So it's a little bit of a more stable counter. You don't expect it to move up very, very quickly, but I think that is when you can potentially consider to accumulate on the dips. It will be relatively more, I will not say safer, or relatively more predictable. The downside can be controlled as well. So this is one of the stocks that is still on our watch list, and I think could be on yours as well if it's not there yet. All right. So that is my bonus stock for today. D01 is the stock code. I'll now pass the time to Jia to cover the last bonus stock for today before we wrap up. Jia, please.
All right, thank you, Bhavin. So the last bonus stock that I'll be covering on will be on CityDebt. So I believe this counter has been covered quite a few times previously as well. So if you just look at the chart wise, it's still uptrending, still very strong. 200 days, 100 days, and 20 days is still pointing up. And there's no 1GT bearish signal yet. So if you just look at the 1GT signal wise, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 consecutive 1GT bullish signal and no 1GT bearish signal yet. So it means that this counter still very strong, something that you can add into your watch list. So just looking at this chart wise, I think the price range is always consolidating around that 50 cents level. So if you look at the chart wise, previously back in July, it actually broke above that 650 level, consolidated around that $6.50 to $7, broke above in October, went back up, consolidate around that 7 to 750 in October till December, and recently actually in last year, maybe mid of December, actually broke above that 750, and there was more upsides. So if you were to look at the chart wise now, I would say just looking at the chart, just looking at the chart wise, currently there's some support near that $9, and the resistance is actually near that 950. And we were to project upwards, that 50 cent range from 950, the next resistance might be close to that $10 resistance, psychological resistance level. But if you were to look at the chart now, it's actually quite close to the 950 resistance level. So when I recommend this chart, when I recommend this stock, doesn't mean that it's actually to enter at this point of time. But maybe if you want, you can put this into a watch list. If prices come back down to that $9 level, back in last few days, that's actually a potential zone which you can actually consider to enter. Or if prices were to break above this 950, that's the next level that you can actually consider to enter if you're more aggressive. So you can enter near the 950, 951 if price break above, so that there's a more upside. The upside towards the $10 level might be your next target. But if you were to look at the chart wise, currently, it's still uptrending. 100 days, 200 days, and even the 20 days are still pointing upwards. I guess this is a counter that actually you can monitor and put into a watch list so that you can ride the trend upwards. And I believe this counter was also recommended quite a few times under clients under Joey, which I think if you previously joined us back in December when we broke above that 750, I think there was a alert, or there was a WhatsApp broadcast on this. And if you were to enter back then near the 750 to actually now, you'll be up close to that 20% profit. So yep. So if not, I'll pass my time back to Joey.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Jai. Yeah. So I think Jai mentioned correctly as well for CityDev, definitely one of the stocks that were in our watch list. I would say since last year, we got a couple of bullish signals. In fact, clients of ours also got alerted by WhatsApp, right? On I think a few times, right, on CityDev, right? I'm not wrong. So I think it's gone up a little bit. So you gotta find out how to get some of those ideas on a daily basis for free, guys. Right, link is right below the chat. All right, so I think that's it. I think we have pretty much come to the end of today's session. A bit of an overrun because we have covered a bit more stocks. Because I think there's a bit more people today. So yes, I think pretty much end of today we have covered the 3 bonus stock, and the 3 bonus stock would be my one would be, what's my bonus stock? I also forget already.
Food Empire was Joey's bonus stock.
Food Empire. In fact, it's right over here. Right, it's Food Empire. Yeah. Okay. So Food Empire. So many stocks today, right? So I'm so a bit blurred already. So Food Empire, my bonus stock, being covered on DFI. All right, and Jia just covered on City Development Group. Right. So that's it, guys. I think pretty much come to the end. Let me know, guys. Let me know if you found it like valuable today. Type a V for value, guys. If you found it value today, especially if you have covered your stocks, let us know, right? Let us know you got value. Just want to make sure that all of you gain something, all right, in terms of the strategy, in terms of your stocks, a quick opinion as well. V for value, right? Let me know. Catherine, thanks for all the effort. Thank you so much, right? Fiona, value as well. Thank you, Joey and team. Awesome. Thank you so much, Josephine. All right. Thank you so much. Over here, value. Joey, you say you touched on Keppel. So sorry, we didn't have time to cover on Keppel today. All right. Maybe another time. All right. Thank you very much, Betty as well. So very good, guys. So thank you. I'm glad all of you got value. As I say, my apologies if you cannot cover Keppel. Okay, but why not? I mean, okay, since you asked me about Keppel, we just do Keppel. All right. Just one final time, super fast on Keppel. All right. Okay. Let's see. Right. So this is Keppel. All right. Okay. 10 seconds. What do I think about Keppel? I think it looks pretty okay. All right. Pump. 3 bullish signals. Now it's what, $11. I think it looks good, right? Maybe a bit of support, 10.50 looks good. If you can break $11, target could be revised even higher. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, again. So yes, that's it, guys. I think we've pretty much come to the end of today's session for Keppel. The final stock for today. This is a bonus requested stock. All right. And I look forward to see you guys in the next Friday session. So as I say, guys, today, if you have been following us, well, we didn't really have the time to break down the whole strategy, the one good trend strategy. So link is right below the chat one final time. The one good trend webinar next Tuesday. Click on it. You'll come to this page right over here. All right. How to 3x your stock portfolio in 2026 with my proven one good trend framework. Basically, how we use the 1GT Pro indicator like we've been doing all along, right? To just guide not just us but for you as well to know when to get in, when to get out, and how do we actually identify the top 1% of winning stocks in seconds. Next Tuesday, 27 Jan, pretty much the last webinar for over the next 2 months. We don't do this every other month. It's not really our full-time job, right? So 27 Jan, next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. I look forward to see you there to share a bit more about the strategy, and that's why we have more time just to break it all down for you, right, compared to today. All right. So let me pass on the mic. Maybe Jai, Bervin, anything to add for today? I mean, how's it?
All right. I mean, today, definitely we can see that, market just reopened. Prices are still pushing higher for some of those counters. I'm pretty sure you guys want to get back into it, open your app, take a look at the counter, but always remember, take a step back. All right. If you haven't, or if you do not have Joey's 1GT Pro or Lite indicator, I think this is a good chance. The last webinar for this period, I would say, is going to be held next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. I think the link is in the chat. It's still there. You can just click on the link to actually register for this free webinar. All right. Jay, anything?
I think we covered quite a lot of stock today, but I think there's still some stocks that some of us never cover. But I think if you are interested in the Singapore market, you can join the following week. But if you're interested in the US market, I believe some of them are asking at the start also. Next week will be on US market. So just join us for the next AMS next Friday if you're interested on the US stocks, and we can give a quick analysis on your stock that you request. So just join us whenever you can. Yep.
All right, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Have a good good year ahead, 2026. We see you guys in the next Friday. Ask me any stock. You're back to the US market. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.